Salute everybody. Welcome to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker. We just left. It feels like we just left anyway. But I don't know now. It's been a couple hours, but yeah, I feel like I just left. But copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, and education. Please don't forget to hit that like button as you come in or pass by. If you're in the clouds just watching, hit that like button for me. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a demonstration. Also, please share the live out and keep this baby's name alive. Riders, also YouTube is giving us an incentive where they want to take more from us. So yeah, but they're giving us an incentive on goals. So if my riders don't mind helping me reach my goal tonight, that'd be wonderful. And please say hello to your neighbor as you come in, and thanks in advance. Ryder said, it broke my heart when he said that's what he sees in airplane crash cases. Why that evil on that beautiful girl who cried for help and got laughed at and ignored. Damn, Rising. It's going to be my first time. I haven't looked into the story or nothing. And one of my subscribers asked me to talk about it. I was going to talk about something else, but try to give Janiyah Russell the shine she needs. So I want to keep her name alive. Hey, Raw. Hey, sister. Hey, Tamika. Hey, welcome, love. Welcome. Hey, Butterscotch. What's going on? Hello. Welcome, riders. Welcome. But yeah, this story again. Hey, Hassan. What's going on? I'm good. How are you? Hope you're good. How y'all Saturday being out there? I want to get everybody in here and get comfortable because I'm gonna be here for a little while tonight. Not too long, but a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, 2 or 3. Yeah. 2 or 3. Butterscotch, welcome. Tamika, welcome. How y'all doing? And thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for being new subbies. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna set up. That's what's up, Hassan. How's your channel going? Hey, Shay, sis. Just letting everybody come in, pal up. How's your channel going, Hassan? Hey, Earlene. Hey, sister. Hey, little mama. Hey, sister. Let me drop your link, Hassan, too. Hassan's a good dude, y'all. He's got a cool channel over there. I'm gonna drop his link. Are we rested up or now? How many of y'all didn't get no sleep being in here? How many times? Look, y'all, I still even had yawns left, y'all. I had 3 yawns left. I say 10 yawns, I'm out. If I yawn 10 times, I'm shutting it down because I don't want to go to sleep on the panel. I was going to take my hair out. I was like, I don't feel like curling it tomorrow. And I got a couple of shows tomorrow. I got one tomorrow. A subscriber dropped down in the chat this morning, and she was like, justice for the baby's name Quintani, and I was like, how you doing? Her name was Self-Made. I said, how you doing? She said, I'm good. She said, Miss Parker, can you please? She said, I just woke up at 10. Oh my goodness, you was tired. Hey, flight sis. Yeah, you was tired. So I said, yeah, sure, I got you. So I told her I was gonna cover the story and keep the bank. You seen Tootie researching Frank and his garages and drivers. I heard. I heard. I've been saying what I've been telling y'all. Frank, didn't I say, Frank, come here. Come here, Frank. Come here. Come here. Let me talk to you, Frank. Let me talk to you for a minute. Cause like I said, y'all gotta think about it. There's no way people wasn't, hey Alicia, hey sister. There was no way where nobody questioned them kids being at that shop when they was getting their car fixed. Cause I would have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just would have seemed out of place, if y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all still got my Miss Pearly rollers in. I was gonna take it out and I said, nope. I'm going to sleep like this. I'm going to sleep. I'm getting some rest. Plus, I'm gonna be over there with old boy tomorrow at 3 o'clock for Sunday service. I'm gonna be with Josh in the morning for Sunday service. Wish, sister, everyone getting ready for work. Yeah, I know, Wish. I know. We was here pretty late, Wish. We was here till 7 o'clock this morning. I was on live for 7 hours. Seven guys. She's rollers up, y'all. Damn. They in my way. Y'all know how rough it is when I sleep on these things, girl. I'm not doing it in the morning. I don't want to curl my hair in the morning. I don't. She said, Diane. She said, Miss Parker in chat, justice for the and all victims. Thank you, Diane. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but I heard about that Erlene, and I was like, oh, this is getting good. That's right. Keep them. And you was reading early. Was I Tamika girl? She was gone on. She was bothering me. But you know what, y'all? When you're doing good and you're doing stuff like that, the devil will try to come and steal your energy by any means necessary. And I just got to start deciphering to move around in silence and not feed into the devil's work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, Betty. Sister Shambi, I see you. I'm ready. So, one of the subscribers told me last night about Janiyah. And I was like, dang, we got all these Janiyahs and Nazayas and what was her name? Hey Nola. What was her name? Top Flight up there in California that they just had a funeral for. Sorry, y'all. What was her name? Hey, Kenya sis. Well, we great to tune in to the okay, sis. She said from the backstage. Okay. I just been crying for these little ones. I know, Diane. I know. It gets hard. These stories get harder and harder and harder. But this story right here, Jamaria Sessions, cutest little thing. Mother dies from leukemia. Let me say pass away. Let me stop saying die. Passes away from leukemia. Hey, Pam. All but for her had to go live with her father. And he gets in on the girlfriend torturing his baby. And if y'all go back and look at that story I did about Jamaria Sessions, she was the cutest little thing. She was always smiling in all her pictures. Some of these pictures, that's why I always say with these kids and these stories, a lot of these pictures, they never tell the story of what these babies was really going through, right? But then when you hear these stories, I always want to tell y'all, go look at their pictures, just because I want to read the chat. And I always tell y'all, I always say, I look for the pain, but I don't see it. So I wonder why they done it to them babies. Why did you unalive this baby? Why did you put 100-pound Rottweiler on that baby? Why did you make her suffer and let your kids, even to add your kids into the torture of this baby? And here we are again. Hey, have you seen us, my love? I had to check on my niece and nephews. Thank you, Miss Parker. More often, I'll say, absolutely, Tamika. Absolutely. Because as me with 4 siblings, don't mean that all my siblings think like me. And I have to think like that, like, or we ain't the same. We came from the same mother, same father, but we're not the same. And everybody ain't, and I always tell my kids this. I always told my kids, hey, Gina, my sister, my rider. I always tell my kids, I said, I want better for y'all because if something happens to me today, ain't nobody gonna treat y'all like I treat y'all. What I didn't allow doesn't mean somebody else ain't gonna allow it to happen to y'all. Hey, Tyler, what's going on, boo? My sister, my rider. Everybody ain't gonna treat my kids how I treat my kids. Somebody else might turn a blind eye to something that's happening to my kids, and I refuse to leave this earth without bringing awareness and putting these red flags with my kids. Thank you, Nola. Thank you. Hey, Zen. You already know. She said, I tell my children and grandchildren the same. Here we are again. 5-year-old dies after bath time with her dad's girlfriend. Got a story tomorrow. 3-year-old. If y'all look at that thumbnail, I just be like, how? How do y'all look at these babies? Look at that thumbnail. Look at her picture. Look at her smile with her father. Another case of being with your father and this happening. Oh, this was horrible. Okay, sis. Okay, Nola. Be careful. Dang, Alicia. I've been following this story since I heard about it. Whew, it's my first time, y'all. It's my first time. This is the story of 5-year-old Janiyah Russell. It's a heartbreaking tragedy, yet her story was barely covered. Let me do a quick prayer, y'all. Give me 1 second. Amen.
Could that have possibly happened when I did CPR on her? Because I was pushing her whole body.
These lacerations, I told you, we see this in airplane crash victims.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Jesus is going to watch over you, and he's going to protect you and keep you safe.
Okay.
Okay? And he's going to heal your mind and your soul and your body. And he's going to cover you.
Okay.
Yep. And there's going to be a hedge of protection around you. And we're going to see you again. I don't know when, but we're going to see you again, my friend. Okay, my friend.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all, just seeing that part right there. Why they started off like that? Why did they start that off like that, y'all? Like, seriously. Damn. Hey, Shank. Salute. She said epidemic. I saw her interrogation line, but it's just like stuttering, fumbling, and blaming the father. Another grandmother seeing and doing nothing. I'm trying to fathom why these kids, Tamika, man. Hey, Minnie, my sister, my rider. What's going on? Hey, Sun Kids. Hey, Hankin. What's going on? Shank Rock, if you can drop your link and Hankin TV's link, please. Hey, Sun Kiss, my boo. And she said that's when she tells her grandmother what was going on, but she ignored it. Don't tell me. I ain't seen it, y'all. I remember that story just said every time I watch YouTube, all the stories is about abuse, and they say I just flip and just won't go through the screen. You know the rest. I know, Diane. I know. Hey, Allison, my sister, my rider. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay through the whole thing, but it's a lot. But I'm glad you prayed first. Yeah, I said, Sister Belinda told me to start praying before I do these, and just hearing that, just seeing that with her grandmother, and she looked sad when the grandmother was just talking to her just then, and it just kind of like rip my shreds. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Hankin TV, awesome content creator. Hankin, continue to do your thing. Hey, Shank Rock, I caught you also new to your channel. All right, y'all, here we go. Shit. Look at her face. I just want everybody real quick, look at her face. Look at her smile. I try, y'all. It'd be hard. It's getting hard for me. Hey, Candy. Salute, Tracy, my love.
Dark waves that pull me under, secrets buried in the night.
It's not over until the truth comes out.
Drowning in the sound of thunder, whispers hidden from the light.
My blood was in her veins.
Cold depths that hold the sorrow, echoes calling out my
He
name.
came and visited at my mom's house.
Shadows creeping into tomorrow, in this silent, endless game.
She was my granddaughter.
Whispers in the water, secrets never spoken, dreams all torn and shattered, promises all broken.
I knew it was going to be intense. I knew it was going to be graphic. I knew it was going to be a lot of what most people may not be able to handle, but I needed to know what happened to my granddaughter.
Looks like you're getting a $3,200 refund.
Did she mention that at H&R Block, everyone gets their max refund or their money back?
And
Colorado-born Janiyah Russell should be 10 years old right now, and she should be focused on little more than laughing with loving family members or riding her bicycle with her friends.
You do what you got. Go ahead, get on your ride. Let's see.
Janiyah should be watching Paw Patrol, reading children's books, and getting her little fingernails painted. This smiling little girl should be a big sister to her 4 siblings, and she should be helping her grandmother bake a batch of cookies before happily consuming her fair share of them alongside the ones she loves. She should be lighting up everyone's lives with her big, easy grin, and she should be the donor of the best hugs the world has to offer. Janiyah should. But Janiyah Russell will never participate in any of these typical childhood activities again. As a matter of fact, there will be no new experiences for innocent Janiyah, and that's because her life was taken when she was just 5 years old. It was callously snuffed out by the actions of pure evil. The people who were supposed to protect her from the beasts of this world ended up being the very monsters that stole her final breath. And for that, those that harmed Janiyah Russell shouldn't have the right to inhale. They shouldn't have the right to blink, to eat, to drink, to smile, or even to think. I shouldn't know who they...
And I agree with what he's saying, like about the. I think they get grace. I was saying too, and if you are a parent that has lost a child due to this, I think letters need to start being written, and y'all show y'all face and let them know that they shouldn't get certain treatments. It's good. It's already bad enough that they get to live still, after taking a life, which it ain't for us to want to take a life. Leave that to God. But at the same time, privileges and things like that, hey, no love, what's going on? Hey, Paula, welcome. But, still breathing air and getting commissary and phone calls and special treatments and stuff. No. Thank you, kids. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah.
This little girl is, and this video should not exist. Instead, Janiyah should. Today, I will tell her story. We'll also hear from her grandmother, who personally reached out and asked me to cover it so that Janiyah Russell may be remembered, but also because those who truly cared about Janiyah are still searching for answers. You're about to see never-before-released crime scene photos and body cam footage.
This has to be a joke.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry it's not.
This is the horrific account of how an innocent bundle of light and joy was extinguished by the hateful darkness that surrounded her. I'm Mr. Black, and this is the disturbing truth. On July 27th of 2022, I received an email from a woman named Tirza Russell requesting to speak to me about the murder of her 5-year-old granddaughter. After researching what I could about the case, I realized that there was so little out there about this child. Very few articles and almost no one telling her story. Miss Russell asked me if I would be her granddaughter's voice, a duty I accept and commit to handle with care. Here is Janiyah's story. On Wednesday, September 11th of 2019 at around 7:45 a.m., 911 received a call from someone alleging to be the babysitter of a child that was unresponsive at an apartment complex in Las Vegas called The Suites.
Fire medical.
Hi, I need an ambulance.
What's the address of the emergency?
4855, South, or Bolton Highway, the street.
What apartment number?
In 1161.
I'm sorry, 1161?
Yes, in, building in.
And is it Nancy?
Yes.
All right, tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. I gave my daughter, or my little girl I was babysitting, I gave her a bath. And she, I don't know what's going on at this point.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Is she awake?
No, she's unresponsive at the moment.
Okay, so is she awake and unresponsive, or is she unconscious?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, so are you where she's at right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, look at her. Is her eyes open? Is she passed out?
I'm not sure if she's passed out. Her eyes are kind of open.
Okay.
First off, how you don't know hey Nika, my love, Capricorn Chronicles, I see you, Colton. How you don't know, you say the baby's unconscious, but then you say you don't know if she's breathing or not. Like, what is it? And then she said, my daughter. So you was jealous of his baby. And that's what I say to these men as well. We talked about that earlier in my chat. If somebody doesn't like me, they can't like my baby because my kids are replicas of me. My kids are replicas of me. So I know if a person doesn't like me, they're not going to like my child. It's just that simple. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And I know we don't want to be lonely. A lot of us don't want to be lonely, but at the same time, when do we start thinking about our kids? When do we start, you know what I'm saying? You don't just get to be in my life. You got to be in my kids' life, and I got to see how my kids are around you. And stop bringing people straight into your life and automatically into your children's lives. Exactly like she said, right, I'm lost already. Me too. Like, look. Man, look, she doesn't even sound panicked. Niecy, not at all, and welcome, Niecy. She knows that baby was expired already. This girl was incompetent. I don't know how she was left with the child. He knew this, though. I got a feeling he knew this. Exactly, and kids have sixth sense. Yeah, I watch how my grandbabies are around their daddies. And whoever my daughter mess with, I do. And I'll say, even with their friends. I remember my daughter having a friend real quick before we get into this, and my grandbaby just did not like her. And that made me not like her. I said, something's wrong. And every time she came around, my grandbaby cried, and I felt like she was doing something to my grandbaby. And I told my daughter, I know you want friends, but your child comes first. Your child's feelings around these people come first. Hey, Natasha.
Is she breathing?
I'm not really sure. I can't tell.
Okay, so these are questions. All right, we're getting help started, but these are questions that are very important for me to know. So what I need you to do is put your ear next to her mouth and see if you can feel or hear any breathing.
No, I cannot.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get her on her back on the floor. Do that right now.
Okay, she's on the floor. On the back.
Okay, and she's still, on her back on the floor.
Okay, sure.
All right, she's still unconscious, not breathing, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do, okay? You're going to place the heel of, and you said did you come in there and find her like that, or were you in there with her when she did that?
On her bed, and I went in there to check on her, and now she's just unresponsive.
All right, this is what we're going to do, okay? So we're going to go ahead, and do you know if you have a defibrillator in the house?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you're going to place the heel of your hand in the center of her chest, okay? And just make sure there's no pillows or nothing underneath her neck, okay?
There's nothing.
All right. And just look at her mouth and make sure there's nothing in it. If it is, take it out.
Nothing in her mouth.
All right. So you're going to place your hand on her forehead, the other hand underneath her neck, and then you're going to tilt her head back. Okay, and one more time, I just want you to put your ear next to her mouth one more time and see if you can feel or hear any breathing.
I don't feel or hear anything.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you how to do mouth to mouth. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to pinch her nose closed and completely cover.
I did want to say this too. The other day, she did ended up getting, I guess some girls were bullying her because she played outside and stuff like that. And I guess they ended up jumping on her.
Okay.
And I don't know if that could have possibly had anything to do with this, but she did get beat up pretty bad from the situation.
Did she go to the hospital when that happened?
No, she didn't because, you know, we thought it was kids stuff. So.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's start this, okay? They are coming, though. Is there somebody else there with you that can open the door for us?
Nobody's here.
All right.
All
right. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to pinch her nose closed and completely cover her mouth with your mouth. You're going to blow 2 regular breaths into her lungs, okay? About 1 second each, just to make the chest rise with each breath, okay?
Okay.
All right. So did you feel or see the air go in and out, or did her chest rise at all?
Her chest rose, and then the air just blew out her mouth.
All right. And she's still unconscious and not breathing?
I'm assuming.
Okay. It's still the same as what it was when you checked just before you did that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to place the heel of her hand on her breastbone right between her nipples. Okay. No, you.
It's the baby got into a fight at 5. Hey, Morgan. What's going on, sister? She said, OMG, she's 5 and got jumped. I'm giving, come on, y'all. She is. She's not trying to save the child at all, no love. It's clear. This is sickening. See, they're trying to set up lies, and this is how it happens every time. Every time. Why is she having a conversation and not doing chest compressions? Absolutely. 5 Capricorn Chronicles. You see how she's doing too much talking. The baby was gone and she knew. Come on, Tamika. She's not doing nothing. It says kiss.
Your hand. You're going to place the heel of your hand, okay, in the center of her chest. You're going to, and then only with the heel of your hand touching the chest, you're going to push down about 2 inches, and you're going to start pumping her chest hard and fast 30 times, at least twice per second. So I'm gonna count with you, okay? And then after the 30 times, we're going to do 2 breaths, okay? So let's start pumping, okay? We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go ahead, pinch her nose, tilt her head back, and blow 2 more breaths into her lungs, okay?
Okay.
Let me know, and once you do that, start pumping her chest again 30 times.
Oh, sorry.
Now, if she wakes up, we're going to... They're there? Okay, I'll go ahead and let them take over, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
When the first responders arrived, the child, 5-year-old Janiyah Russell, was laying on the floor of the residence near the couch. She wasn't breathing, she had no pulse, and she was unresponsive to pain. Only one other person was in the apartment when the medics arrived at around 7:50 a.m. And that person was 23-year-old Chevion Imani Miller. She told the first responders that the last time she had checked on Janiyah was around 4 a.m. Immediately, bruising was observed around the child's face. Then when the medics cut off her shirt so they could administer aid, they found similar significant damage to her torso as well. Chevion Miller told them that the little girl doesn't have any previous medical history. She also ruled out any possible injury resulting from a fall. Miller did, however, mention that Janiyah had been in a fight outside with other children a few days prior. Janiyah was rushed to Sunrise Hospital in the back of an ambulance. Upon arrival at the hospital, the child's body temperature was only 88 degrees. This is about 10 degrees cooler than it should have been. Janiyah was described as covered in bruises. Contusions were found on her forehead, eyes, lips, neck, arms, legs, and stomach. She had also sustained lacerations to her mouth and nose. Then she had serious bruises to her bottom, as well as 2 black eyes. Observations also revealed 3 broken ribs that were determined not likely to be from CPR. But the worst of all Janiyah's injuries was a major laceration on her liver that led to internal bleeding, which, sadly, the little girl never recovered from.
A fight at 5. Hey, Minnie. Hey, Lisa. Thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate you, sister. Listen to the. How did we grasp to beat a baby like that? At some points, don't you want answers like, how do you just torture a baby? This baby did nothing to you at the age of 5 to just brutally unalive her like this. The torture of it all. Definitely didn't. And how old were the invisible children she fought? Because the 5-year-old kid cannot do not this much damage. The fact that she even put it on her. The fact that she put that on some other children. But you didn't even report it. She had to beat that baby to severe her lip. Come on, Noahs. What they just said. Hey, Miss Me. Hey, Miss Me. Usually during this part, people are crying and emotional, but still doing the compressions. This lady was, come on. It's sad how I couldn't even look a baby in the face. And you know what I'm saying? When my grandkids, do I be wanting to get in their ass sometimes? Yes. But you know what I'm saying? I see Nate's little face and her little eyes be watering and I melt. Can't defend herself at all, Tamika. Come on. Come on. Unless you just getting up, Sean, and going to the restroom and you just peek in on the kids.
She'd passed away long before she got to the hospital.
I got a phone call from social services or from CPS. He called me and he said, I have to tell you something. I have some news. And I'm like, couldn't even fathom to think of what he was going to tell me next. He said, I was reading the paper. He said, Janiyah. And I said, who? He said, she passed away. I said, who passed away? What do you mean she passed? It was like an immediate emotional separation from that moment, that phone call. The memory is fuzzy after that. And I just remember saying, what? And according to Sarah, my youngest daughter, she was there. And as soon as I said, what? Like, think of a bomb. And when it hits, it just explodes out. So when I said that, she came running in the room. And according to her, she said she had to catch me because I was going down.
Been in a car accident? Here's exactly how to get every dollar you're owed. If you've been in a car...
You know you're gonna leave Grammy and Nene, right? They live with your daddy. You know that, right?
Yes.
You gonna have fun with your daddy?
Yeah.
That's good. You can call Grammy anytime, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give your daddy my phone number. Because I love you.
I'm gonna talk to my mommy and then I'm talking to my mommy when he's being mean to me.
Okay. That ought to be interesting.
And you could tell, like, even when it came on, like, when she was telling us that she got to go with her daddy, her face just changed. She still smiled, but her face just changed, right? And we got to stop, man, listen to y'all kids. She said, see, look, the baby told her grandma what was going on, so I'm still trying to figure out why she let her go. Because ain't nobody hurt mine. I'm telling y'all right now. It's some unaliving going the fuck on. For real. Like, I can't. Looking at this baby. And it'd be the participation of the parents with their significant others that... That baby knew he was going to be mean to her. She did. This makes me think of love. You know, my grandbabies, I have 8 ranges for 64 months. My twins are almost 4. My twins are 4, almost 5. And sometimes they have me ready to pull out my hair, but I would never, and that's on God. And she laughed it off.
And then my dad would hit me because that's why mommy told me I can don't my dad touch me. And then he's still touching me.
No, hopefully
at the house.
We won't be doing all of that, okay? And you
Okay.
just have a great time with your daddy, okay?
Okay. My mommy told me don't my dad touch me. And then he's still touching me.
The coroner stated that the injury to her liver was so severe that it likely killed her within minutes. But these weren't the only damages Janiyah Russell sustained. There were small tears and abrasions to the little girl's genitals, inside and out. The doctor claimed he believes these are from blunt force trauma and introducing something foreign into the child's body. Then, underneath Janiyah's fingernails, a male sperm sample was found, as well as another smaller sperm fraction inside the child. Both of these were sent away for DNA testing. Janiyah's death was ruled a homicide, and her cause of death, blunt force trauma. Her tiny little body seemed to have been used as someone's punching bag. This beautiful child with an infinite smile and never-ending energy had quite clearly been beaten to death. If the coroner was right, one can only hope that her passing was quick and she didn't have to suffer for long. Her estimated time of death was initially believed to have been within an hour of first responders arriving. But that's something we'll come back to later, because it may very well be an important key to what actually happened. What you're about to see is the body cam footage from Sunrise Hospital. This takes place shortly after arrival, before Chevion gives official voluntary interviews to police. This is the first time you'll see her on camera. Pay no attention to the time shown on the body cam, as it's inaccurate.
Hey, ma'am. Are you babysitter?
Yes.
Are you family?
Yeah.
Okay, who are you? I need to stay right here, please. Okay. I know this is very difficult right now, okay? I just need to get some information from you really quick, okay? And I need to just get that, and then we'll go to the next step, okay? Who are you to the child? Nobody? Are you family?
No, I was dating her dad, so I just dated her.
Okay, and what's your last name? First name? What is it?
S.H.
I'm like, it's kind of, it had to be a pretty hard punch. Hey, Nikki, what's going on, sister? It had to be a pretty hard punch. They said that baby died within minutes. And they said the doctor said they hoped that she didn't suffer. But it'd be the audacity that they be going to the scene like Kimani's daddy was at the search party, knowing he dismembered this baby. And we got her sitting here pacing in this. Y'all know how hard it is to do that to a liver? The pain that baby felt. And she's sitting here in this hospital as if, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Arlene? Hey, Amber, what's going on? She said, what's with all these kids' dads? And say, man. And it be the horrific stuff that they do to their babies. It just don't be they. Shay said, I look.
What's your date of birth? And your social? No? And good phone number for you, please? Thank you. Is it Siobhan? And then who's the father? What's his name? Who are you dating? Richard Avis?
Richard Davis.
Do you know his date of birth? And what's the child's name? Janiyah. Can you spell it, please?
J-A.
Beat the tax deadline with experts by your side. File with unlimited tax help. Plus, get a final review.
Y-A-H.
And her last name, Davis? Okay, do you know her date of birth?
August 26, 2014.
Thank you. Okay, you said she got jumped at school?
No, she's not in school. I don't know what really happened. It was just in our neighborhood. I sent her outside to play, and she came back
At the
looking,
streets?
looking roughed up.
And when was
crying.
this?
It was like the day before yesterday or yesterday.
So Monday?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so you went and let her outside to go play, and she came back all scruffed up?
It might have been yesterday, yes.
Yesterday? Okay. Did you call medical at any time or anything at that point?
I didn't because I thought, it was just some kid stuff. And
Roughhousing or something?
Yeah, it was no
Okay.
big deal.
Did it progress? Did she complain of anything in the
I
past?
just didn't send her back outside after that. And like I said, I was telling the nurse that when she was in the tub, she was like on her side, so she was kind of like sniffing and drinking the water. I don't really know how to explain it much, but she was like,
This morning?
It was last night. She was in the bath, or yeah.
Okay, and then what happened this morning?
And I went to go. She went to bed last night. Everything was fine. Went to go check on her. Like I said, she was up 4:00. I would say around that time.
This morning?
Looked at me. Yeah, maybe it was a little later, maybe 5. She looked at me, lay back down, didn't really say anything. Then I went to go check on her again, and she was just staring up.
What time did you look at her again?
Around 6, maybe 7. Probably must have been around 6.
And she wasn't responding to you?
No. I'm sorry, I'm trying to check the time.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to check the time. What, you text yourself? I mean, did she text herself? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. It's the audacity of her even being there with this baby, y'all. It's the audacity knowing she took this baby's last breath out of her body and she is her. These people wouldn't be doing this mess if they still had firing squads. So a fight that was bad, she can't remember when it happened. She acting like she don't know what it is. Come on. And Amber, thank you so much. She said she is worried about her damn phone and that baby. She's shaking my head. We see it in, this is in full.
And then that's when you called 911? You called at 7:45?
Yes, so I would say about 7 is when I checked on her. And I laid back down because I thought she was just playing or just laying there.
Okay.
How you play laying there? It's like.
And then that's when you called 911?
Yes.
Okay.
When I realized she wasn't playing.
Okay. All righty. Just hang tight for me, okay? We'll get some people to, would you like, I know you have somebody here, would you like somebody else to come help us through this process? Okay, just hang tight for me, okay? Hi, young lady. You awake? Hi.
I'm not sleeping.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
No, I'm not
I didn't want to assume. I'm Officer Marshall of Las Vegas Metro. Hey, are you able to do a volunteer statement?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you one. Okay, I know you already talked to Officer Cravets, so I'm not gonna re-question you a bunch of stuff and all that. I'll get any information I need from him. Okay, and really, he's still in charge of whatever's going on over here. Okay. What happened to your head? How did you get scratched up? What happened to your head? How did it get scratched up?
I'm not sure. I didn't even know I was questioning.
No. Okay.
Stuff happened.
Yeah, I get it. You from Cali?
No.
Is that 504? Oh, I thought that was Southern Cali. I'm gonna close this out so you can have some peace.
There's no peace.
Well, you know what I mean. So other people aren't all up in your
Not
business,
there's
you
no
know?
peace, child. Look.
This has to be a joke.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry it's not.
No, she's the joke.
I'm gonna explain this to you, okay? You can take your time, fill it out at your convenience if you want to fill it out, okay? Here, I'll give you this to work on. So if you want to start here, can you see it or no? This is your name, okay? Just fill out all this information as correctly as you can, including a good address and a phone number for you. In the details, it's literally whatever you know happened, okay? From last night, I know there was some mention of some water getting swallowed and stuff like that. Probably important stuff to put in here, okay? When you're all done, I'll be right here with you, okay? Any questions to anything so far?
Why did they keep trying
Keep trying what?
to save her?
Wait a. I know you want. Did she just tell the detective why do they keep trying to save her? It's a scary thing for people with children. I'm gonna say this to y'all, please. And I got grandkids. I got grandkids, y'all. I do. Capricorn. I'm trying not to cry for y'all in front of y'all again. I'm so sensitive though right now. I'm already sensitive, but love y'all babies. Love y'all babies. And if you get an inkling feeling that something ain't right in your child's home, your daughter's home around the kids, your son's home around the kids, even with our own kids, don't bat an eye to save your grandchild's or your child's life. I don't give a damn. If you got to go to court and fight for your child and fight that custody, fight that custody. My child's not going there. Y'all, my child's not going there. Don't let none of my grandkids come and tell me nobody hit them that ain't, man, I'm telling you right now. But she said, why are they still trying to save her? Not Amber. We ain't found that yet. Man. Hey, Patricia. Man, I just want my grandbabies right now, y'all. Like, I just want my grandbabies. I'm not saying that my kids aren't good parents because they are. I don't trust people. This right here, I don't trust. I don't give a damn family. No, nothing against my family. And they watch me. No. 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 Damn, Miss Baby. Damn. Hey.
I she was playing. She was just leaning. So where do we go from here?
Where we go from
Well,
here?
a couple detectives will come out. Obviously, they're going to have to do a little bit of an investigation, at least.
It's don't make y'all in the chat be like, man, I be like, God, and I don't want to die, y'all don't, but I want all this wickedness just to go away. I'm so tired of this wickedness. She said, where do we go from here? After she just asked this man, why are they still trying to save her? You realize it now, Tamika, huh? Hey, sweet honey. Hey, sister. Tamika, you understand what? Natasha. Hey, Joe, so blessed. What's going on, sister? I'm going to prison. Without a shadow of a doubt, y'all, I'm going to prison behind mines. Damn, I just want this evil to stop. This is too evil for me.
Just to determine what happened with the child. And they'll talk to you and get your side of the story, whatever happened. That's why I said you don't have to fill this out because they're going to come in here and talk to you anyway. Okay. And then from there, whatever they decide will happen or whatever their investigation will lead them, we'll go from there. Yeah. That you should know, girlfriend or babysitter had some cuts on the back of her head They look pretty fresh. Has no idea how they got there.
Thank you.
You can see it in between the braids.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty fresh.
Shortly after this body cam footage concludes, investigators arrive at the hospital and record voluntary statements from Chevion Miller. This is an edited down version of the first one.
Today's date is September 11th, 2019, and the time is 10:57 in the morning. This interview is taking place at Sunrise Hospital.
Yes.
Also present is Detective Hernandez, P number 7567, and investigator Rosalind Flores from the coroner's office. Are you from Vegas?
No.
Where are you originally from?
Louisiana.
Louisiana? Okay. How long have you been out here?
Since I was 13.
Okay. Did your family move from Louisiana, or did you come out here by yourself?
I moved with my auntie, and then I was in foster care.
Okay. All right. Now, it's my understanding that you live with a Mr. Richard Davis.
Yes.
Okay. And that's your boyfriend? Okay. How long have y'all been dating?
5 years.
5 years? Okay. Do y'all have any children? No. And does he have any other children other than Janiyah? Did I say it right? Okay. How long have you guys lived over at 4855?
Like 4 or 5 months.
About 4 or 5 months? Okay. Do you work?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Have you worked prior?
Yes.
What kind of work did you do?
Call center. Surveys.
Okay. Was that here in town in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. And you say you've been out here since you were 13? Well, let's see. How old are you now?
23.
23. Okay. So you've been here for 10 years. All right. Does Richard work?
He did.
He's not currently working?
Mm.
What kind of work did he do?
Walmart.
Walmart? Okay. When was he let go?
About 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago? Okay. So I guess my question is, how are you paying the bills if neither one of you are working?
Oh, well, since neither one of us is working, we have outside help and stuff like that.
Okay. So you got friends and family maybe, or?
Yeah, we were supposed to be moving with somebody.
So you've pretty much been involved with Janiyah since she was born, since she was a baby, yeah?
No, he just got custody of her a year ago.
Okay. So the mom had, did they share custody prior to that?
No,
So mom had full custody, and now he has full custody.
pretty much.
Okay. Do you have any contact with the mom?
Not really. She calls, but when she calls, we just let her talk to Janiyah. She don't really talk to us as much.
Okay. All right then. Do you have any family here in town currently?
I do, but I don't associate with my family as much.
Not with yours? Okay. And what about Richard? Does he have any family here?
We seem like every once in a while.
Okay. Does anyone else live with you guys over at 4855?
No,
Any household pets, dogs, cats, birds?
just a cat.
Just a cat? Okay. Who takes care of Janiyah when you guys were working?
We switch out. Typically when he works, I work on his off days. So the days that he's off, I stay at home with her. And then the days that I'm off, he stays at home with her. And then when we need somebody to, we just have somebody to watch her if we need to.
Okay. Well, and how is Janiyah? Is she a healthy little girl? Is she playful, active?
Yeah, all of that.
Any medical concerns with her?
None at all.
Did she go to school?
She was about to start.
She about to start to go to what's 5? So kindergarten?
She's smart. She was going to be in first grade.
Oh, okay. Was she already enrolled?
No, we were moving around, so we didn't, like I said, he just got her, so he didn't really have her social. And the little girl we were babysitting, we had to pick her up from school, and he was going to see if we could put her in her school.
It's the last for me. They had her for a year. Hey, Anita. They had her for a year, but she didn't put her in school because they've been moving around. How much moving around? How did he get custody? Where's the mother? Like, we got to start fighting for our kids. I get we go through stuff. I do. I really do. I've been there. I keep saying I've been there. But I fought. I did everything. I faked it until I made it, until I realized I really needed help. And I took every piece of help that they gave me to get my kids back. And when she said that babysitting Amber, that's right there is a red flag. Because if y'all been together 5 years, ain't no babysitting. You get what I'm saying? Pam. There was a lot of addicts living over there in them apartments, and as they were, y'all, jeez.
All right. So let's. What I'd like to do is we want to talk about how we all ended up here today. Just be honest with me and tell me the story. All right.
Yesterday, she was outside playing, and she came back in the house crying because she had run into a scuffle. But last night, after dinner and stuff, she ended up getting in the bath. She was in the tub, and it's like she was like sniffing or drinking the water, and I had to correct her about it because she was like, I don't know if she was like, I don't really know how to explain how she was doing it, but she was like trying to breathe almost in the water. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. But so, like I said, I corrected her about that. Everything was fine. Put her to bed, checked on her. Like I said, she wakes up periodically. So a few times out the night, she gets checked on. And by 4 o'clock, I would say 4 o'clock because it was right before her dad left, got up and checked on her. She was fine. She was up. He left. I laid back down, went to sleep, got up to check on her because, normally she's up at a certain time. And she was just staring. I don't really know. It's that look she had. I thought she was just laying there or just playing, but normally if she sees me, she'll pop her head up or something. So I just didn't pay any mind to it. So I went to go lay back down for like another 30 minutes until I realized she didn't get up to knock on the door. She didn't call for me or nothing. So I went to go check on her again, and she was still looking the same. And so I was just like, okay, something's wrong. And at that point, I called her dad, and then I called the hospital.
Okay, so you say yesterday, which is going to be Tuesday the 10th, you said she was outside and that she had gotten into a scuffle.
Or something up to where she came back just ruffled up, yes.
About what time do you think that was?
It was like later on in the day, older time of day, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe.
So about 4 or 5? Who was home at that time?
I believe it was just me home at the time.
So she say that she came into the apartment. Mm-hmm. How did she look?
Beat up. Like her eyes, her face, she just looked like somebody had roughed her up. Her hair was pulled. Her clothes were messed up. Like she was all dirty and stuff. Like she was just outside playing or, getting roughed up or something. And by the time we went out there to go see.
So let me tell you, the 5-year-old went outside, came back roughed up like she's describing. And ain't nobody go outside to step about these kids, like about my baby. Like I'm the type, like, I ain't gonna hold you. I get the little kids scuffle, but not to where she's describing China my poo. Not this scuffle. I'm stepping. Where your mama? Because somebody's got to see me the way she's describing for this baby liver like a regular night kiss. Like a regular. Then she was choking on what? Which one is it? Which one is it? Go on. I mean, I'm so disturbed right now, y'all.
What was going on? Everybody was gone. There was nothing or no one to be found.
All right. Well, so what did she tell you happened?
She was just like, they were being mean to her. And I kept saying, who was they? She was like, the kids. Like, she was just really upset.
So she didn't tell you the names of any of the kids, or
she had just started going outside. So I don't think she would even know their names like that. It's like, we don't send her outside like that. It shouldn't have been no kids on her, to be honest, but.
Has she got hurt like that before outside?
She don't go outside.
So this is the first time she's ever been outside?
It's not the first time she's been outside. That's just one of the first few times.
Okay.
And I didn't really think to, ask where were you at when, I figured I knew where she was at.
Did you hear any fighting? Did you hear kids?
I always heard kids because we live right by the pool.
Did you hear her cry out or cry for help? Or
no?
You didn't hear her screaming or crying or anything like that?
She's a tough kid. She don't.
She's tough?
Yeah.
Okay. So
at 4 years old, 5 years old, this baby's tough. She outside by herself, fending for herself. She tough. She's tough. Oh, she don't know nobody out there. I mean, baby could have been kidnapped. I mean, it's the whole scenario for me. She tough. Was she tough when you busted her liver open? Ma'am. See, this is when the death penalty has to come into effect to me. I'm sorry. I can't. What's up, Latif? What's up, my rider? I mean, no, I can't, y'all. I can't swallow this right now. Yeah, she couldn't have pointed him out. She's tough. She don't know who she's playing with. So you don't know where you didn't hear her scream. I'm like him. You didn't hear her cry. She's so tough. She just went outside at 5 years old and just took a beat. She said jump. Don't forget jumped. Ain't no 5-year-old kids thinking about jumping. They don't even know what that is at 5. Ain't nothing adding up. This baby's gone, y'all. When that sheriff was standing there about it, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it just crushes my soul. And we got to do better. We got to.
So she comes in after the incident outside. Did you check her body out to see what was going on? Did you see if she was hurt?
She was.
And what did you see hurt?
Her face.
Can you? So what was on her? What did you see on her face?
She had a black eye, and then like the other side of her face was kind of messed up. It was some other things. I don't know. I think her mouth might have been messed up.
So what happens after you check her out?
I checked her out, made sure, like I said, I went to go see what was going on outside. Everything had died down at that point.
Did y'all have dinner that night?
Yeah, of course.
What was for dinner?
Well, we don't honestly have much in the house right now, so.
She said the baby's eye was black, y'all. And the baby's so she whooped this baby like she was an adult. When I say she beat this baby like she was an adult. Everything died down outside. Well, hell, how did it die down when she said it wasn't nobody outside? Ain't that what she said? She said, okay, Tamika, you have a good night. Thank you so much for coming through, and thank you for blessing my channel. Thank you. Hey, vibrant sister. Not enough souls. It ain't. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
So she just had every sauce on the sandwich.
Did she eat what normal size portions?
Yes.
What time do you think dinner was?
She go to bed at 9, so I would say it's like maybe 8:30.
8:30.
So at 8:30, 9 o'clock, she seems fine. She had supper. Is Richard home at this time?
Yeah.
So he's got. What time did he arrive home?
Like right before she had to go to bed, so like 8 something.
Okay.
It was like 8 something.
And where was he at?
Janiyah's father, Richard Davis, was gone during the time Chevion claims the little girl was in a scuffle with other children on September 10th. He was, in fact, at a Popeye's chicken restaurant eating food with another man. We can verify this with security footage from the establishment. During the video, while waiting for his food to be made, he can be seen being very annoyed about something. I have no clue and can't even begin to speculate about what made him so frustrated. Nevertheless, for the purpose of creating a timeline, let's quickly recap what Chevion says happened to Janiyah from Tuesday, September 10th when Richard was out eating until emergency personnel arrived the following morning.
Anybody peeping what I see with the dad and this young man? Because we are so losing. No, it wasn't, Zen. No, it wasn't. Okay, you peeped it. Absolutely. Hand definitely wasn't broken. Absolutely. It's a lot going on in this picture. It's a lot going on with this baby. Thank you, Petty Queen. Thank you. Let me hard it. Hold on, Petty Queen. And said he looked annoyed. He looked like he's getting checked by dude, don't he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, Juanita. That's where the annoyance came in.
According to Chevion during her first interview with police, between 4 and 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 10th, Janiyah is in an altercation with children outside the apartment complex she lives in. She comes home crying, upset, and beat up, sustaining a black eye, additional facial damage, possible mouth injuries, and pulled hair amongst other signs she's been roughed up by someone else. But when Chevion goes outside to investigate, she doesn't see anyone suspicious. A short while later, Richard returns home at 8 p.m., just before Janiyah eats a dinner between 8:30 and 9 p.m. consisting of tater tots and a sandwich. Chevion claims that Janiyah ate a normal portion of the meal before taking a bath and going to bed at around 9 p.m. in her normal spot on the couch in the front room. She follows up that she and Richard then went to bed at around 11 p.m. While in the bath Tuesday night following the altercation, Chevion claims Janiyah was
So he's out eating Popeyes. He's eating real good. He's out eating real good. Yeah, Capricorn. We all seen he's out with his lover. You could tell. But you out eating real good. He's eating Popeyes. While she's at home torturing his child to the death. Feeding at 8:30. Right there, that's abuse because ain't no kid got no business eating that late. That food's got to sit on their stomach in some more. Their digestive system. Come on, y'all. This is just for the ones that don't know. I know we get off late sometimes and things happen, but come on, 8:30 is too late. 8:30 is too late. We know how food works on our stomachs. Did the baby eat? Did the baby eat is a question.
trying to sniff, drink, or breathe the water in the tub. She states that she had to correct Janiyah about it, but offers no further explanation during this interview. She goes on to claim that everything was fine when she put Janiyah to bed. She then says she checked on the child at around 4 a.m. and the child was fine and up. This was just before Richard left to go donate plasma in town. For those of you who don't know, plasma is the liquid part of your blood. You can donate it regularly for cash. Richard then leaves the apartment at around 5 a.m. and can be spotted on a bus heading into town. Soon after, Chevion gets up to check on Janiyah again, and this time she does so by pulling back the little girl's covers. She claims Janiyah was staring back, open-eyed and blank. There was no interaction exchanged between the two. Chevion lays back down for 30 minutes before realizing something is off as Janiyah, uncharacteristically, was not yet awakened up. After checking on the little girl for a third time and realizing that Janiyah was indeed unresponsive, she decides to call Richard at the Telecris Plasma Donation Center because he left his phone at home. After 6 minutes of talking with Richard on the Telecris phone line, the call ends and Chevion contacts emergency services just before 8 a.m. Now that we've got the timeline down, I'd like to remind you not to get comfortable. Chevion provided 3 interviews to police, and her story does a fair bit of changing. Her third interview is a full-on video interrogation. If you really want to help piece together what happened to Janiyah Russell, stick around. The family could use your help. It's also worth noting that while the couple don't have any other kids themselves, they regularly babysit for other parents. Specifically, during this time, 2 little girls aged 5 and 1 that belonged to an ex-coworker of Richard's named Liz. The last day they babysat these children was Monday, September 9th from 2 to 11 p.m.
Not got the audacity to babysit somebody else's kids. But torturing your boyfriend of 5. Then said the baby was choking on water, trying to choke on water, drink water at 8:30. I thought you just said she was eating at 8:30. That's what I need to know, little mama. Like, I do. At this point,
Their mother, Liz, had worked with Richard in Walmart before being let go. He, Chevion, and Janiyah were all about to move in with Liz, with the plan being to babysit her kids full-time as a means to pay rent. Of course, this would never happen because the day Richard planned to move was the day Janiyah died. And these aren't the only kids that Richard and Chevion looked after. And we'll get to that in a minute, as that information comes with a bombshell.
So you check on her at 7:30, 7:45. How did she look then?
And I said that at that point, I figured something was wrong. She was looking the same, not moving. And then I realized her hands were really cold. So I turned on the heater thinking that maybe she's just really cold.
What, did you check her breathing?
Yeah.
Was she breathing?
I don't think so. I couldn't really tell for sure.
And you say you called Richard first? What did you tell him?
I just told him he needs to hurry up and get over because I don't know what's going on and she's not breathing. And he's like, well, you need to hurry up and go to the hospital. Like, okay. I just wanted to.
Okay, so then I'm guessing the paramedics arrive and they grab Janiyah up and take off. So part of what we do is we examine Janiyah's body. She's got a lot of injuries. She has a lot of injuries. And earlier, when I first, when we first started our conversation, I asked you to make sure that you're honest with me and you tell me the truth with what happened. And that's important. I've been doing this for quite a while. And I can tell you that the extent of injuries that she has on her body is not from a scuffle.
I don't know about the extent of injuries on her body.
Well, I can tell you that I've seen her body, and I'm telling you, this didn't come from a scuffle out in front of her apartment. Her injuries are extensive.
Yeah, the only thing that I knew of that was new to me was the spot on her stomach. I don't know where that came from at all. I mean, and anything else I told you about, that's what I saw, and I did mention it.
So this all happened yesterday. You got to tell me how she got hurt like that.
I'm telling you how she got hurt like that.
She didn't get hurt like that.
Well, I
need you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you.
That child's injuries did not come from a scuffle out in front of your apartment complex.
Can you tell me what the injury
I'm telling you.
I'm not trying to be funny at all.
I know you're not.
I'm really trying to figure out because the only thing I knew about was her face. And then, like I said,
she has bruises all over her abdomen, all over her arms, all over her legs, all over her face, all over her head, all over her neck. She looks like she's been in a fight with an MMA fighter.
Wow.
She didn't get this from a scuffle out in front of your apartment. I'm telling you 100%.
Not the baby had looked like she got in a fight with an MMA fighter. Y'all know what that's like when I don't know if y'all ever seen an MMA fight, but to a 5-year-old. To a 5-year-old, y'all. I'm just trying to get it together, y'all, real quick.
No doubt in my mind. I don't doubt that she was beat, but this didn't happen out in front of the apartment complex from some kids.
Wow.
And when she was in the bath,
the most she did was like.
Describe that for me. I was just kind of wondering what that was. What do you mean she was sniffing the water? What is it?
Like I said, after that or whatever, she was laying down in the tub and she was like kind of on her side. So like, I thought she was like just laying in the water and then like maybe blowing the water out her mouth, like out of her mouth area so she can breathe or whatever. But I realized that she was kind of like. It kind of seemed like she was like trying to drink the water or something. Like I don't really know how to explain what she was doing because once I seen her doing it, I was just like, okay, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's dangerous.
What'd she say?
She don't talk back. She's just gonna get up and not do it.
Go back.
Yeah, she's just gonna stop doing it.
Did you have to get her out of the water or anything like that?
No, but the water was kind of like high to her body. Like that's why I'm saying like if she's laying flat, you see how little she is, and it was like halfway covering up her. So that's why I was like, okay, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
when you got out of how long was she in the bathtub?
I don't know, because like I said, she ended up staying in there a little while longer because I let her wash herself off, and then she watched to be in the tub. So she soaked herself up and stuff like that.
Did you wash her like vaginal area and anything like that? Was she especially dirty or anything like that?
What?
Her private parts, her vaginal area.
Did you say was she especially dirty?
Yeah, was she dirty? Because you said she got in a scuffle.
She had her own clothes.
But did you have to wash her any, like, harder than normal? I'm just like, other than normal stuff.
No, not at all.
Okay. You said you had to correct her.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Told her to not do.
That's it?
Yeah.
Told her not to do? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm really still stuck on the fact of what you said. I really am.
When she came in, because you said that Richard wasn't there, and she told you that she'd gotten into a scuffle out in front of the building. Did you call him or send him a text? Hey, she got into a fight?
I would say he don't really have a phone. The phone he do have is on Wi-Fi. So typically he's not really going to take that phone because I'm the one that has Janiyah. So in case of an emergency, I need to call somebody, which we don't really have emergencies. and we don't ever really need to call nobody ever.
Okay. As far as discipline, because she is 5, and all of us here have children, we know how 5-year-olds are.
She gets whoopings.
Does she get a whooping? Okay. Explain to me how she gets a whooping.
Honest, it just depends on what she did. She was a very different type of kid, so like I said, it just depended on what her actions were.
Now she was a different kind of kid at 5. And then tell the detective, because he knows his job. I just can't get over what you just said. Bump what he just said. You beat this baby to death. And not only did you beat her to death, you busted her liver. What did he say? Because I missed it. Well, she essayed. He asked a question for a reason. Man.
Like sometimes she'll have to end up going there, workout, that type of stuff.
What do you mean workout?
Wall sits, because I don't really like whoopings.
Okay.
What?
So I make her work out, or she stand in the corner.
Give me an idea of an exercise program you put her on for discipline.
Like say if she's been lying, she can do wall sits, and then she can do some push-ups.
Okay, so she'll put her back up against the wall with her legs bent, and then she holds her hands up?
Yes.
And how long will you make her do that for?
I would say it's just the case. So I'd say for lying and stuff like that, or trying to be in wrong folks' business, it just depends. Like she'll do sets, like you know what I'm saying? So say she'll do count to 10, stand up, and then go down, count to 10, stand up. It's like that. It's not like no extreme workout challenge. It's really simple stuff.
How many push-ups?
10. Everything's count to 10.
Okay. When she gets a whooping, do you use your hand or you use an object, a belt?
I don't really give out the whippings. I leave that to her dad. But if he's not really like there and it's just like, okay, she's being too bad and my form of punishment is not working, then it might be a belt. But yeah, that's about it.
Was she disciplined yesterday?
No, for what?
I'm asking. I know. Was she disciplined for anything?
No.
What about the day before?
No, we were released the day before. So if she was looking like that, somebody would have seen her like that.
No, I'm saying just as far as discipline. I'm not saying that she looked like that 2 days ago. I'm asking if she was disciplined 2 days ago for anything for being bad.
No. Say for example, if anything like yesterday, she don't really like to learn. So when she was pretending not to know a word that she was sounding out, she's really smart. It can take her a minute to do it. But sometimes it can take her longer because she doesn't want to learn. So for that, she had to stand in the corner. But that's the most she had to do yesterday, was stand in the corner.
So she stood in the corner yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you remember what time that was? When were you doing studies?
Around 12.
Why did she get put in the corner yesterday again?
Because basically she didn't want to. She knew what a word was, and she was pretending like she didn't know what it was.
A what word?
A word that we were working on.
She brutally tortured this baby. Yeah, Lati. She is, Lisa. Because a word we was working on. So you keep going over the word. You don't discipline and abuse the baby because they don't know words. She's still 5. And you come up with other ways to say the word. Because, see, this got to be educational purposes. This got to be for educational purposes. Oh, baby. Y'all.
She was pretending like she didn't know what it was. So she ended up getting in trouble.
What was the word?
Fat.
Fat?
I know you want that.
It's an easy one. Yeah. Is she receptive to discipline? Does she...
She can be, but, we just work with it.
Okay. Does it frustrate you?
She's 5.
It's typical 5-year-old behavior, yeah? Okay. All right. So occasionally she'll get a whooping with a hand or a belt. She also does, what do you call them? Wall sits?
Workouts, yes.
Wall sits and push-ups? Sit-ups, anything like that?
No, squats.
Squats? Okay, is that against the wall or freestanding?
You know squats. You don't know.
I know what a squat is, yeah.
Yes, for standing.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask you really quick too? I know we had touched on it, but you had said she had complaints last night. What were her complaints? Was she complaining with headache? Was she complaining like she wanted to throw up?
Yeah, no, she didn't ever say she wanted to throw up, but you asked like, oh, does her hair and stuff like that, right? Yeah, she did say, yeah, it's a little. And she didn't really, like I said, she's kind of tough, so she doesn't really complain too much. So if something was really bothering her like that, I don't think I would have known because, like I said, she's tough. So she would have probably just tried to sleep it off.
I was just asking because I thought you had said she did have complaints last night. Did I hear that wrong?
No, you had heard it right. Yeah, she did.
So then I just want to be clear that her complaints were that you asked her for head hurt and she said yes.
No, her everything, like, just because of the fact that what happened. That's part of the reason why she ended up getting the bags because,
Did you tell Richard about the scuffle up front? What did he say?
He was concerned. He asked what I did. And then, it was just like, he's the type of parent. He's a guy. So he just feels like it'll make her tougher. He was concerned, but, he don't really show his emotions like I do.
Did you call the police?
No.
Did you call security?
No.
Did you go knock on any doors?
No. Because she was just supposed to be playing outside.
So your little girl comes in, black eye, bloody lip.
I went to go see what was going on, but like I said, by the time I had got out there, it seemed like everything just, even the pool is open.
I mean, you didn't knock on no doors? You didn't say, hey, did anybody see anything? You didn't see my kid get beat up? You didn't ask nobody?
I didn't think about it. And yeah, she was spitting out blood when she came back too, like her mouth. That's what I was saying, like her mouth was like it wasn't like really like leaking, but I seen it was like red.
Did she wipe it up with anything?
I cleaned it.
With what?
Tissue.
Tissue.
Just toss it in the trash. I mean, in the toilet.
Flush it down, don't
you?
Yeah. Okay. And let me ask you this: is there any domestic violence issues in the home?
No.
You ever get in a scuffle with Richard?
I mean, everybody argued, dude.
Everybody argues. I mean, you ever put his hands on?
No.
We have to ask. Drugs or alcohol use in the house?
I mean, we smoke.
Smoke what?
Weed.
It's legal now. I mean, we don't care. Is there anything else?
No.
I mean, and we're not here for that. We're not drug people. We're not, is there any meth or any cocaine we're gonna find in the house or nothing crazy like that? Okay. And we just have to ask.
None of that.
Has anybody other than you or Richard watched Janiyah this week?
No.
How would you describe these liftings that she would get? Ever pretty forceful? Did she cry?
Who don't? You kids cry after getting yelled at. I had to sit the baby in the corner because she kept fighting her sister.
Okay, but can you describe the love saying that, like you said, it was with a belt? I mean, pretty forceful, pretty hard?
We don't do weapons with a belt all the time. That's how we do the workouts and stuff. But if she do have to get a belt, it's on her butt.
Okay.
First off.
When's the last time she got a whipping with a belt?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you think it was within the last 24 hours?
No, not she shouldn't have. No. Like I said, she was standing in the corner. That's the most trouble she could have possibly been into.
At any point was she with her dad by herself? Without you there?
Not for my knowledge, I don't think.
And when she moved, or when dad got full custody, was she with mom before that?
Foster care. She was with her mom, but she went to foster care. She got went back to
foster care here or where?
In Colorado.
And if I seem like, I know agitated isn't the right word, I see injuries like this on children. And because you don't have a better explanation other than she was outside and got into a scuffle, that's not good enough. That's not.
I understand that.
I'm sorry. It isn't.
Okay.
When a child has that, when her body is bruised from head to toe like that.
I promise you, I'm really trying to figure out.
You're telling me that you didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And when Richard sees stuff like that, what makes her tougher? Both of her eyes are black. She has 2 black eyes. She has bruising all over her stomach, her arms, her legs. She looks like she fell out of an airplane. And you're telling me it was a scuffle outside. And then you didn't call the police. You didn't tell security. You didn't do anything.
I couldn't even. That's why I can't do the medical field, because I wouldn't be able to stomach him saying this. But he said this baby's injuries was so bad it looked like she fell out of an airplane. 2 black eyes, y'all, at 5. Her little head was spinning. Her little body was sore and didn't have a clue why. Never had a clue why this woman was brutally attacking her the way she did. Hey, Denise.
I'm assuming you've been with this girl for 5 years or for a year. I'm assuming you love this little girl. You take care of her.
She calls you mommy, right?
She calls you mommy? Yeah. And she comes in beat up and you know, oh, well.
I'm understanding.
No big deal.
No, it's not no big deal. When she told me I'm ready to go fight, I'm not ready to call the police. I'm not ready to call security. I'm ready to go whip somebody else because you did my child.
Then why?
That's the type of person I am. I told you when I went out there, it's like everybody had disappeared. Nobody was outside playing no more. The whole situation just completely died down. What am I supposed to really go do?
You didn't knock on no their resort, say, hey, did you see anybody put their hands on my kid?
Like I said, I really didn't think about it. I was just ready to whip some ass right then and there. And when I'm in that mode, that's all I'm thinking about. And especially when it comes to her.
You got a little bit of a temper.
No.
No?
When it comes to the right reasons.
Okay.
And somebody putting their hands on her is the right reason.
So if my kid.
And I didn't know she was, her arms.
Yeah.
Her legs.
Yeah.
Her head.
Yes.
No, like I said, the most I knew about was her face. But the fact that you're saying is all that, I'm really confused. I'm genuinely confused right now.
Me too.
I didn't know it was that serious.
That's why I want a better explanation.
Can you give me one?
I wasn't there. You were there.
No, you
I wasn't outside with her.
You're saying that all those injuries happened to her from a scuffle outside your apartment. That's what you're.
That's the only way I know if it's coming from. I'm being so thorough right now.
Okay. All right, that's what we're gonna go with. Any follow-up?
Nope, that's it.
Operator, this is Detective Conover. That concludes the interview. The time is 11:52.
Roughly an hour and a half after Chevion's first interview, while still at Sunrise Hospital, she requests to speak to authorities for a second time. This is where her testimony starts to change drastically. For the record, there's no doubt that Chevion Miller is lying about what happened to Janiyah. This is irrefutable. The question, though, is for what purpose is she being deceptive? You'll want to watch this whole documentary before you make up your mind. It's crucial that you're aware of all of the available details first.
It is September 11th, 2019. The time is 13:26 hours. We are at Sunrise Hospital. And also, again, we'll be speaking with Chevion Miller. And Chevion, you said that you had some more information that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that when I called 911 initially and they told me how to do the CPR, water was coming out of her mouth and nose. So I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, but her mouth and nose had water coming out of it as I was doing the CPR.
Water?
Yes.
Okay. And you were getting instructions on the phone about how to do CPR?
As I was on the phone doing the CPR. This is why I'm really, I completely forgot about that. It was, as I'm pumping, it's water coming out of her mouth, just flowing out of her mouth and her nose on the floor, right in front of the couch.
Did anything else come up with the water?
It was like mucus. And matter of fact, I think she had some spit like hanging out her. I don't know how I'm forgetting everything that I needed to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, she had like one out. That's what made me even acknowledge it too. She had like spit hanging out her mouth and stuff when I went to go check on her again. And then, like I said, once I called and did the CPR, it was water coming out of her mouth and nose. It was water coming out, and the only thing I could think of, she just kept saying, just checking to see if she's breathing. And that's the only thing I was worried about. I didn't even say, oh, it's water coming out while I was on the phone. I was just trying to check and see if she was breathing. I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that she was drinking the water in the tub or whatever it was that she was doing in the tub. So it's like, I really don't know.
When did she get it back?
Like last night.
What's happened?
Probably right before dinner, so like 7.
Was Richard there?
I'm not sure. I don't know, because I feel like when around the time when it was time for her to go to bed and stuff, I feel like he came like right after she went to bed. I'm not really like I said, I completely forgot to tell y'all that the water was coming out her nose and mouth, which is a very important detail. So it's just like I can't even remember if he was there or not. Like I'm kind of.
I mean, are we listening to the same thing, y'all? She said, I know it's a very important detail about the water. We don't give a damn about the water. We talking about this baby's liver being busted open. We talking about the bruises from her eyes to her toes of them saying it looked like that baby got thrown out of an airplane. Carmen, she definitely believes herself, and welcome. She definitely believes herself. Yeah, no, you call them back and tell them what you did to this baby. But she said, I know a very important detail I left out. Water was coming out of her mouth. I mean, Capricorn Chronicle, they said once she busted the baby liver, the baby was gone. The baby's gone. You can't add more injury to what they described this baby as being. I'm trying to get through this, y'all. I'm gonna try to get through this.
Traumatized, if you would choose to say. Like,
Did she dress herself after a bath, or did you dress her?
I typically dress them.
And I know I asked you this before. When you got her dressed after the bath, you didn't notice any of these other bruises that we've been talking about. Because remember, I said her body's covered.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would have noticed it getting her up the tub. I really did not notice all that stuff. I'm telling you, like even with her head, like the fact that you're saying her head is whatever you're saying is going on with her head, I'm really like surprised. The only thing that I know of that she could have possibly done, but my nieces haven't even been around, they headbutt each other a lot. But my niece haven't even been around her. Right. So it's just like, I'm not understanding at all where she would be getting these head injuries from.
Okay. Obviously, we're going to find out what more injuries we're going to have tomorrow after the exam.
More?
What other injury? We don't know. I don't know what's inside. I don't know what's going on. So that's up to a doctor to tell us what.
She have internal injuries?
I don't know. I have no idea. So we're going to have the doctor examine. If there are other injuries, we're going to know. We're going to find out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is there anything else we're forgetting to ask you? Anything else that would have happened that might have caused these things?
No, but now, like I said, I'm kind of upset that I didn't tell you guys about that water from the beginning, because that's the only thing that I could really think about at this point is that water. Okay. And it was coming out of her when I was doing CPR.
And when he leaves?
Like I said, when he left, I went right back to sleep.
Okay.
So
did you see her at that time?
No, I didn't get up until a few hours later.
No, you were awake, but you didn't get up out of bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was up, but I didn't get up.
Did you see your stage?
Yeah, because I was, matter of fact, I'm lying. I did get up. I had to lock the door.
Oh, you locked the door behind you?
Yes, I did. I forgot because I just heard there was a serial killer on the loose.
Not matter of fact, I'm like. It's the participation for me, y'all. On top of y'all be like stuff made Miss Parker when Tiny's dad was sending an email out before noon, and he's extremely thankful and grateful for you. Thank you, and I already got the live set up, self-made. Thank you, and tell him I'm gonna keep his son's name alive, okay? Me and my riders, we got you, okay? Thank you. I'm so disturbed, y'all. It's not mental health, it's just evil. I'm a performer with my fingers. I'm shaking. I done got up 4 or 5 times. I can't even sit still. It's the first this right here. I done got up 4 or 5 times. Cause I don't want to. Cause it's people out here that can't have kids. And I can only imagine that pain. That this baby suffered, y'all. It just, I'm so tired, y'all, man. Y'all don't even know. It's the lies, y'all. It's
How ironic is that? So I ended up, I'm like, babe, you know, I'm just going to lock this door because it's crazy out here. But I didn't really acknowledge her. I just went back to the room. That's why I'm not remembering that, you know, I did get up at that point in time, but I didn't check on her until I woke up later on.
Okay.
And then, you know, I realized she was different than normal. And then I just kind of still kind of brushed it off because, like I said, the way she was looking, I really thought she was possibly just laying there. And then I realized, like I said, she's not getting up. Okay, let me go check on her again, make sure everything all right. And then I realized, okay, something's wrong. Like I said, that's when she had to spit on her pillow. And then that's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm missing the stuff that matters. And then that's when I realized, okay, she's a little cold. I need to turn the heater on. Then I called her dad, like, okay, something's not right. And then I called 911, which I probably should have called 911 first and then her dad. But I just wanted him to know, okay, you're going to have to go to the hospital because once I get on the phone with the ambulance, I'm not going to be able to call you. And that's pretty much how it was.
A few days ago, Richard told us about an incident that happened a few days ago.
What happened a few days ago?
With, you have a girlfriend named Janiyah?
Uh-huh.
And was she over there visiting you guys at your place with her kids?
Yeah.
Do you remember something happening that day?
That might have been the day me and her left. So I'm not, like, I don't know. We be kind of busy sometimes too. So it's just like, my sister haven't really been over there. I mean, like, it probably was the other day, but I don't really remember exactly what day it was because it was like right before we got the little girls. So it was the other day, but I don't remember, you know.
Is Janiyah your sister? Or
No,
she's a friend?
She's my friend. But
what's her last name?
Johnson. What did he say happened with her?
Well, I don't want to tell you what he said. I want to see if you were. So I want to see if you were there. If you remember an incident that happened.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I was there because I know it's always something like that's.
Did he tell you about an incident?
I'm not sure. Like, that's what I can't guarantee because I know for a fact she ended up headbutting with my niece. I don't know for sure exactly, you know, what it could possibly be that he's talking about.
Did he tell you that something happened?
It's always something happening.
It's really something that you would go, oh, okay. When I say something happened, I mean it's something that's serious that you would go, oh, okay, that's what happened.
Where she would have gotten a whooping.
Oh, where she got a whooping?
Mm-hmm.
Was it she was kissing the girls on the mouth or something?
Nope.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't know for sure.
So were you there when that happened? Did you see that?
When she was kissing the girls on the mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Did I see that happen? I was there that day. I don't think he was there. That's what I'm saying. I don't know because there's always something going on. We always have kids at the house. Like, this is not nothing new for us to have kids around, you know? My nieces are always over. We are babysitting. We were supposed to babysit today. So it's like, it's not really anything new that we're always having kids around, especially little girls. So it's like,
did he tell you that he had to spank her with a belt?
He don't run his stuff by me. Not really. He don't run his.
So you don't have, that's just not something that come in conversation. Hey, by the way, I had to spank her today for blah, blah, blah.
If I had to whip her, I'm going to run that by him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he had to whip his daughter, he doesn't have to run that by me. I just told you what she got into, you know, with the most recent thing that she did. So it's just like, I don't know what that could have possibly been. And it's been a few days since my nieces have been over or my sister's been over. So I don't really recall too much.
Okay. This case is going to be solved medically. Not me. I'm not a doctor. I don't do that. But when I'm at the autopsy tomorrow, I'm going to know everything that's wrong with Janiyah.
No, yeah.
I know everything.
That. And that's what I'm saying. The only thing I can think of at this point that could have possibly happened was that water. And like I said, when I was pumping her,
the only two people that have had contact with that baby
is me and her.
Is you and him.
Right.
So somebody ain't telling me the story.
No.
Somebody's not telling me the truth. Babies don't get full of water all on themselves.
I told you what she was doing.
So not from that. Well, that was at 7, 8 o'clock. This is 10 hours later. She's not still full of water. It's not. It didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she was drinking it. I feel like she was breathing it in.
I know, but then she would have expired while she was taking a bath. She can't be full of water 10 hours later while you're giving her CPR. That's impossible.
I don't know.
I'm gonna know more tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want you to be prepared for me tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't do anything to her. I'm telling you, I put her in the tub and she was laying there. She was laying in the tub. It wasn't like I for one, I give her baths too much for me to possibly have done something like putting her under the water or something like that.
Did she accidentally drown in the water last night? And
I'm not sure
you're just
because
not
at a
saying
certain
anything
point in
until now?
time, I did walk off.
Well, what I'm saying, last night before bed, and she's in the bathtub. Did she drown while she was in the bathtub? And you're scared to tell us that she drowned, and that's how this other story came up with checking on her throughout the night, and then you finally call for paramedics in the morning. You know, obviously, you know that you have to call somebody and report that your child has passed away. So, with the water coming up out of her,
honestly
it
would
makes
not-
me believe that maybe she had drowned.
I would not have waited that long to say something because I would have felt like there was possibly a chance that somebody could have saved her. Now, if anything, maybe my time frames are wrong, but other than that, I'm literally telling you that's what that was. Like I said, maybe my time is off, and maybe the night was a little later. But other than that, no, I'm literally telling you that's what happened. I didn't.
So when she was done with her bath, she was fine. She got dressed. She went and you put her to bed, gave her a kiss on the cheek goodnight, and you and Richard went to bed. But she got out of the bathtub. You dressed her.
Mm-hmm.
She went and laid down on the couch, went to bed.
Yes.
Okay. She didn't drown in the bathtub. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Or not that I know of.
Not that you know of. Well, I mean, you would know. You were there. You know the difference between drowning in a bathtub and not drowning in a bathtub, right?
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think.
If a child drowns in the bathtub, they're dead. They're dead in the bathtub.
Well, I think I would have had more knowledge of why the water was coming out of her like that.
Did you find her dead in the bathtub
I don't.
earlier?
No.
You can tell me. That would explain a lot. That makes more sense now. If you're telling me that she had water coming out of her while you were giving her CPR, that makes sense. This is the time to tell me the truth.
There was water coming out of her. I wouldn't wait hours to call for help. I'm not making no boat.
Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened to this little girl.
I am.
You can do it. You're strong enough. You are. I believe in you. But you got to tell me the truth. You got to tell me what happened to her. She deserves that.
I told you she was laying there. She was laying in the tub, first of all. Why? Just saying, would that even be believable if I pumped the water out of her already? You can't see water in her lungs if it's already pumped out of her.
During the autopsy, if she drowned, there will be medical signs that will tell us that she drowned. We'll be able to know that tomorrow.
It was water coming out of her.
I believe you.
Can we discuss this tomorrow? Please.
You should tell us now. It's best if you tell me now what happened. I want to know what happened to this little girl.
I'm not trying to go to jail for something I didn't do, that nobody did.
Tell us what happened. Tell us when you found her.
What?
When did she drown?
I don't know for sure if she drowned or not. I thought she was just laying there. I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do.
There was 2 people in that apartment.
Her dad was not there. He didn't do that. Nobody purposely harmed her like that.
Then tell me how it was an accident.
Okay, I really can't.
That little girl deserves the truth.
I do completely understand that, and I'm giving you the truth. I really am. But I just don't.
You were a mother to her. She thought of you as her mama. She called you mama.
I know all that. That's not really going to help. I want to know that I'm not going to go to jail for something that wasn't done purposefully or something that I didn't do, something that he didn't do. Neither one of us sat there and hurt her like that on purpose or ever tried to.
But Shavion, you won't tell me what happened.
I just want to know I'm not going to go to jail for something that...
Explain what happened to me. Tell me how it was an accident. You're strong enough. You can do this. You love that little girl. I know you do. Tell me the story so it'll make sense. Please.
I don't know what happened. Like I said, she got into the scuffle. And I ended up putting her in the tub. I don't know exactly what time. The water was just running. And I wasn't paying attention.
And what time was this?
I don't know what time it was.
Was it? You think it was nighttime?
It was nighttime.
Was Richard there?
No.
How long was she in the bathtub for?
She wasn't in there that long.
Did you start the water for her, or does she start her own water?
I turned the water on.
Okay.
I filled it up and then I walked off.
Did you turn the water off?
I didn't turn it off yet.
Did she turn it off?
No.
When you went back into the bathroom, was the water running?
I ended up turning it off.
Okay.
Then I walked off and I came back and like I said, she was laying in the tub. I got her out and I tried my best.
When she was in the tub, was she face down or was she face up?
I don't know. Because like I said, she was laying in the tub at first. And she was laying there like, on her back and stuff, just waiting on the water to fill up. I don't know what happened after that. I just grabbed her out the tub. And that's why I think that mark came from on her stomach from me trying to get her out the tub. And she was like laying over the tub. Because like I said, that mark and stuff on her stomach was not there. I don't know where that came from. I don't know even know if that sounds realistic or not. But that wasn't on her. Nobody, like, even when you're saying like the bruises, nobody don't beat on her like that.
Okay. So
you can ask my sister. She was living with us for a couple months. I don't even whoop Janiyah.
So when you pulled her out of the tub, was she breathing?
I thought she was. I really did. That's why I just laid her down and go to bed. She, she was able to get dressed and stuff like I don't know. I don't know if I'm like.
She got up and she got dressed?
No, I'm saying like I got her dressed, but.
You dressed her?
Yeah, I always dress her. It's just, I don't know. I just thought, she was going to be okay. I thought she was going to be fine. I didn't know that something was wrong. I would have called sooner. I would not have let.
So after they beating this baby so bad that the detective said she looked like she got thrown out of a plane, right? She just said, well, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I didn't. Latifah, I'm going to need your help with some stuff. Patricia said, so where do we start getting documents, review them, and go out to congregational leaders? Latifah, I need your help. I know, Tanika. I need your help. Because I can't keep sitting up here doing these stories, y'all. I ain't never seen a baby get so beat they look like they got thrown out of a plane. Where you just bust the baby's liver open. And then say, that's how that baby got that bruise on her stomach. Ain't no way. You bruised her so bad on her stomach that you just busted the baby liver. And you said that's how she got that. Getting her out of the tub does this to this baby. I don't know if this don't make y'all cry, but I just can't help it. When you start off on this video and y'all see her smile and her tell her grandmother that she's being abused. And it goes on deaf's ear. It gets a blind eye, it goes on deaf ear, And she could have been saved. A lot of these kids could be saved. And it's always when it's too late that they want to speak out. It's like, no. Then we stuck with bringing awareness to these stories. And then they get to go to jail and distill. You know what I'm saying? No. No. Y'all look, I'm like, Patricia, some things got to
let her sit there like that. I feel horrible. I have to go talk to her dad, and I still haven't seen him. He left the house with her, understandably alive, as he thought, as we all thought, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like she was fine. I don't know.
Is it possible that when you pulled her out of the tub, that she had already passed away? Was she dead when you pulled her out of that water?
I don't know.
Did she?
I just want her to be okay.
Did you put a blanket over her?
I dried her off. And I put her clothes on her and I laid her down because I thought she was just tired. To go to jail.
Did something happen before the bath where you might have been upset with her? Anything like that?
No.
Did you tell Richard about what happened in the bathtub?
I didn't talk to him until I thought she was fine.
How long was she in the bathtub alone?
I always leave her in the tub alone.
How long do you think?
Like 30 minutes. Not even that long. I can't calculate time. I cannot. Time is just not my friend.
So she was on her stomach, but her head was to the side.
Yeah.
Was she floating on top of the water? Or was she under the
She
water?
was on the water, and then I don't know.
Would you be able to show us
Show you what?
how she was in the water?
Did you try to do CPR when you got her out of the tub? You did. Okay. Did water come out when you did CPR?
Then I called her dad, and then I called my mom.
I mean, after you pulled it. So was the bath this morning, not last night? Because you said she took a bath last night and she was floating in the water last night. So when you pulled her out of the tub last night before you dressed her and put her on the couch, did you do CPR then? Did you try and revive her?
No. I did it.
You just got her dressed and put her on the couch?
I could have saved her. I really thought she was fine. She's kind of dramatic sometimes. So I thought she was just playing along or something. I didn't know. That's why I tell her all the time, stop being so dramatic, because when somebody really needs to know what's going on.
She said, I thought the baby was being dramatic. First of all, a 5-year-old don't know nothing about being dramatic. I thought she was just playing along, and I told her, come on, try to believe I caught that. I thought she was playing along. She's stuck on this drowning, and I'm stuck on what he said this baby looked like from the eyes down, and come on, Anita, y'all. That's who's dramatic. And I don't want to hear nothing about mental health. This is pure jealousy. This is our youth unaliving these babies, and not even just the youth. Yeah, she said, I'm going to jail. But did you think about jail when you blacked that baby's eyes and you had that baby seeing stars? Did you think about that when you busted that baby's liver open? Did she think about jail? Did she think about jail after she beat this baby to death, that she drowned the baby? As if she had already taken her life. Skins for life, you tell me. They said the blow was so hard to the baby's liver, she died instantly. So you beat her to death, and that wasn't good enough for you. You just had to drown her too. Come on, Trini. We know this. We know this.
No, they're not going to know.
There was no way for her to tell you what was going on because she had already passed away. She couldn't tell you.
No, maybe not. Maybe she didn't. Like I said, my time is off. My time is off for when the timing was. I don't know what time it was. All it was just dark outside.
Weren't you concerned that when you had to pull her from the tub? I mean, she must have been just limp. She must have been just lifeless.
Like I said, my time is on. I wouldn't leave for that long.
How come you didn't call for help?
I did.
Last night after the tub, you didn't.
She got.
I know you did this morning. How come you waited so long?
She got a bath this morning.
She got a bath this morning. After he had already left? Okay.
So what can I tell him?
Okay.
Tax Act knows taxes can be confusing, so we've got experts, live human experts.
That makes sense. That's better.
No.
What happened during the bath?
I don't know. She, like I said, she was just laying down, chilling. And then all of a sudden I come back and it's just like everything is just wrong. So when I got her out, I laid her down for a second because I don't know. I just thought she was kidding. I really thought she was kidding with me. I really did, because she's just that type of kid. Like, she play and she do goofy stuff like that. So I really thought she was kidding with me for a second. And that's where I messed up at, thinking that it was a joke, thinking that she was just playing. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't mean for that to happen. And I don't want to go to jail.
So now that the day's a little more clear, the timeline is better because the bath was this morning, not last night, because he told us she didn't get a bath last night. So we already knew that. Well, what time did you put her in the tub this morning? Was it after he left?
This was a little bit after he left.
Okay.
Because I ended up getting up to lock the door. She was already up. So I was like, let me go and get ready because we were supposed to be packing to move today. And I just wanted to get certain things out the way like that. She'll be dressed and ready for the day. And it just went sour.
When you say it went sour, what do you mean?
She's not here anymore. That's what I mean. She's not here anymore. She's not. That's my fault. So what's going to happen to me now?
I don't know. We got to talk about it more.
But you know what? It's a lot more helpful now that we know the truth.
Because it makes sense. It does.
We were thinking a lot worse stuff. I mean, we weren't thinking you were a monster. We're thinking you had an accident or something happened.
It was an accident.
Absolutely. Sounds like it to me.
Did you put her in the bathtub this morning and run the water for her?
Mm-hmm. But she was already laying down when I was running the water. Like, before you even get the water in there, she was already laying down.
Laying on her stomach? On her back?
No, she was laying on her back, just chilling, waiting on the tub to fill up. That's what I said.
But she was awake.
She was wide awake. Then just out of nowhere, she's on her stomach and her head's on her side. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So that's when you took her out of the tub?
Yeah.
Was she breathing?
I didn't know. I thought she was still playing. And she was tricking me. I really did.
Okay.
I thought she was tricking me this whole time. I thought she was breathing. I did. I really did.
So did you take her out of the tub? Did you drain the water?
Yes.
And then once you took her out of the tub, what did you do?
I thought she was just playing. I got her dressed and I laid her back down because I thought she was just tired. That might sound crazy, but I haven't ever lived through nothing like that before. And with the type of kid we have, I'm just thinking it's all fun and games. So I'm like, okay, Janiyah, it's not funny no more. You need to go and get up. And she's still not saying nothing to me. So I'm like going in her mouth trying to see if she needs oxygen or something. Like, I was just playing at that point. I wasn't even taking it seriously. So I'm just like, okay, if you don't need me doing this, then let me know. And she's still not saying nothing. So I'm just like, what the heck?
I was just playing. I wasn't even taking her serious. Amber, yeah, Latif, I'm definitely gonna need your help. I'm gonna need all y'all help. Cause I can't do this by myself. It's the word, y'all. It's the had started for me. And while y'all watching with me, I'm literally remembering her face and how she told her grandmother that he was tussing. He keep tussing me and tussing me. And I can't get that out of my head with this baby for some reason. Then she spoke out. Just to hear these lies, y'all, man. This is crazy. These stories are getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
What's going on? And that's when I was like, okay, no. I had to call her dad, like, Janiyah's not breathing. And then that's when he was like, okay, hurry up and call the hospital.
So when you had taken her out of the tub and you thought she was playing, because she was unresponsive.
Yeah.
She was limp, I'm guessing. And then did you start to give her breaths, you're saying? Yes? Okay, because you're nodding yes. And then you thought she was playing.
Yes, I still thought she was playing.
How much time went by until you called Richard from the time you said, because you said you were breathing in her mouth?
After I thought she was playing, because I couldn't breathe, when I was trying to blow the air in her mouth, I couldn't really blow it in. It was almost like she was cold in her mouth. So it was almost like
Latif said the victim's getting younger. Tomorrow, Latif, the baby was 3. Tomorrow's story, the baby's 3. I'm tired, y'all. And it's gonna get worse, Latif. That little girl's suffering is over. She's been taken away. From mom went to foster care, went to dad, and the girlfriend killed her. So much suffering. It's crazy how we humans do to teach each other, especially these grown folks that hurts kids. It's hurtful because we are all kids, but not many kids get a chance to be adults. Remember what I said? Don't have just anyone around your kids. Now, Tanika, this is out in Vegas. Yeah, she don't want to go to jail, but she did that to that baby. They all know her. Miss Shawn, I missed them days. This is thought the baby was tricking her about the 2 black guys, yeah. But tomorrow's story, you guys, is 3 years old.
I couldn't even blow the air in her mouth. So I'm just like, okay, you playing. I'm going to just leave you alone. I covered her back up. But when I came back, she had that look on her face. And I'm just like, something's wrong. You're not changing. You're not blinking. You're not responding to me at all. Like, at some point in time, Mommy, I'm just kidding. Something would change. And it's just like, at no point in time, I went in the room and everything. Nothing changed. And at that point, I'm just like, okay, no, something's wrong. And I waited too long.
How much time you think went by?
I don't know.
And that's when you called Richard? And then he told you to call for help?
I didn't even stay on the phone with him for a minute.
Okay. And then you called us?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you do CPR again with the operator?
Yes.
Okay.
You should have just said that for me at the beginning.
Is there anything else we need to know about? Did she slip? Did she hit her head?
That's what I was thinking. Like, I've been trying to figure that out this whole time. Because she had possibly slipped and hit her head in the tub. Like, how could I miss that?
You said she was laying down when you put her in.
Exactly. So that idea went out the window. What happened?
Operator, this is Detective Conover. Same person as present. We're going to stop for now. Time is 14:07.
As you can see, within the short space of time between Chevion's first and second interviews, the timeline she initially gave police has been completely disrupted. And I think the important question there is why. We could spend a lot of time playing spot the difference and create a whole new timeline based on her second interview. But I think the main point of contrast is the fact that Chevion now is claiming Janiyah's bath happened on the early morning of September 11th, not the night before, sometime just before 911 was called. And this certainly changes the dynamic. She further claims that Janiyah wasn't responsive and acting normal after the bath, stating that she thought Janiyah was just playing around or being dramatic. Janiyah's body was in fact loose or limp when she was carried out of the tub. She was also laid over the tub, something Chevion didn't mention in her first interview. In fact, Chevion's first interview paints the picture that Janiyah was responsive, active, and totally coherent, at least in the bath and shortly after getting out of it. But the child's condition must have been bad enough to cause some concern because Chevion proceeded to blow breaths into Janiyah's mouth before she called 911. Yet after this and dressing her, Chevion left Janiyah on the couch and went back to bed. When she finally checks on the child again, 911 is called. This is where Chevion adds that water was coming out of Janiyah's mouth as she performed CPR on the girl, while under the instruction of the emergency dispatcher. Now tell me, at what point in this new timeline would you have called for help? And if someone going through this experience didn't call for help, what might be their reasons? There's so much conflicting information in Chevion's first two interviews. There's so much obvious deception. But that big question still lies in that one single word. Why? Why lie? Well, there's still so much more to talk about. A short while after Chevion's second interview concludes, police decide to take Chevion back to the apartment and have her do a video reenactment of what happened earlier that morning prior to the 911 call. They, much like you and I, are having trouble following her summary of events.
This is Detective Conover, P number 8388. This will be one video reenactment. Today's date, or the event number, is 1909 000-50332. Today's date is September 11th, 2019. The time is 17:26 hours. Also present is Detective Hernandez, P number 7567. And also we have Chevion Miller, and that's SHEVHUAN. Miller is common spelling. And our Chevion's date of birth is 7/4/96. The location where we are is 4855 Boulder Highway, Building N like Nora, apartment 1161, Las Vegas, Nevada 89121. We are here related to a child death. And Chevion, if you could, now you know this is all voluntary. You don't have to participate. Do you agree to go ahead and move forward with us to help us understand what happened today? Yes? Can you verbally say, okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to hand you the doll. What I like to do is I'd like you to take the doll into the bathroom and show me when you gave Janiyah the bath this morning. Can you show me how she was in the tub when you started the tub water? So she was laying on her back.
Yes.
With her head towards the top of the tub, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you turn the water on for her?
Yeah, I already had this in the tub.
Okay, so you put the plug in.
Inside. You over here. Not too
Okay.
hot, not too cold. The water was running. I left the room, started smoking a cigarette, came back, and she was like this.
Okay, so she was face down in the tub at this time with her head turned to her right side.
Yes.
Okay. How full was the bathtub?
Well, you see this?
That ring right there?
Yeah.
So it was a full tub.
Yeah.
Was the water still running?
I think might have turned it off already. I don't recall that part.
Okay. Do you remember if you turned it off when you came in and saw her like that, or you turned it off prior to it being like
I
that?
don't remember that part exactly. I don't
Okay.
know if I already had it off, and I don't remember that part exactly how.
Okay. And then when you saw her like that, what did you do?
I immediately brought her up.
Okay.
I sent her right here.
You sent her on. Did you have to hold her?
No. That's why I thought she was just fine. So when I got her out and she was just, kind of looser than normal, I'm just like, still not really thinking nothing up because, like I said, I didn't have the board up here. So I'm thinking, she's just kidding or something. Maybe. And
would you describe her as being limp?
like I said, she was looser than normal, yes. But like I said, since I didn't have to hold her up here, I didn't really think too much of it right then and there. And like I said, I really didn't think much of it at all until I came back to check on her and she was just not responding.
Did you say anything to her when she was in the tub or when you got her out? Did you talk to her?
I think that's what I was telling you. I was like, Janiyah, quit playing. And then
Did she respond?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say yeah, and I'm not gonna say no. Because it's like I kind of feel like I'm just doing that hair too. Like I don't.
For her eyes open or closed?
Her eyes were open.
Now, when we talked to you at the hospital, you said that you gave her some breaths. You actually breathed into her mouth.
Yeah, and I thought she was just playing. That's when I had actually got her dressed and stuff. He put her on the couch, and I thought she was just playing. So I had her on the couch, and I'm like,
where was that at? Can you show us?
Show us how that went out.
So she's already dressed and stuff like that, and she's here on the couch.
Wait, you got
the way she was
Yeah,
that way?
yeah.
Not this way?
No,
Okay.
She don't.
Hold on, you got her out and got her dressed.
Yeah.
Can you go through the process? Okay, so you got her out of the tub.
Yeah. Got her off the tub.
Mhm.
I normally carry her out. Came later right here. Put her clothes on her.
Okay.
So at this point, like I said, I'm still thinking she's just joking around and stuff. So I'm like, okay, you need to stop playing. So I put her up here. Then I walk off because, like I said, I'm thinking like, maybe I think too much of it. Come back. And I'm like, and I come back and check on her. I don't recall exactly at the point of when, I kind of still jokingly was, over her like, oh, you want me to blow some butts on you? And I'm like doing that. And I felt like she was blocking me from doing it because maybe it was like the position that she was in or something. But I felt like she was blocking me. So I'm like, oh, you don't need no breads. Like you're playing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking she's still playing. But when I realized she still had that same look on her face, I'm just like, okay, something's wrong.
How many breaths do you think you gave her?
At that point in time, like I said, I wasn't really being too serious. So it was probably like 2 or 3, Okay. Nothing severe as it should have been.
Did she react? Did she say anything to you?
No. She just, it kind of seemed like she was just spitting out something. Like, like she was just. Like,
When did you dress her in?
The clothes that she had on, the leggings with the, I don't remember exactly what was on the show, but I remember it was a t-shirt.
A t-shirt, pajama bottoms?
It weren't pajama bottoms, but they were legging pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And underpants?
Yeah, sorry. And I keep forgetting because that's automatic.
Okay.
But yeah, at that point when I had her up here, and I realized she wasn't responding, then I called the ambulance. And they told me to move her to the floor and then that's where they told me to properly position her and then perform CPR as I gave her the breaths, and then they kind of with me through the process.
Did any fluid come out of her mouth when you were giving her CPR?
Yes, that's what I was telling you before, but that was 2 different instances. Actually, that's the one this in detail because, like I said, I was out here kind of playing about the bus, and then, like I said, actually before, when I'm like on the phone with you guys, like when I'm trying to call her dad, like okay, something's wrong. That point, that's when I tried CPR myself, and that's when the fluids was coming out her mouth.
So you did chest compressions?
Yes, that was before I was instructed to do it.
So not just the breaths you gave her,
Yeah.
you also did chest compressions.
Yes, I did. But like I said, once I realized, it was serious, I actually, cuffed her nose, blew in her mouth. I mean, I probably wasn't doing it right, but liquid was coming out. So at that point, I'm really concerned. And when I walked off and came back, she was like spitting out or something. I'm not really sure what was going on, if it was her or if it was just the reaction, but it was something was like mucus was coming out.
That she was on the couch.
And she was on the couch, yeah. And when I walked off and I came back, her head was actually like this, like to the side. But she was like straight up and down at first. And then when I walked off and came back, she was like to the side, so it was like falling up the side. And I'm like, okay, no. And that's when I called CPR. They told me to get her on the floor and to do it that way.
How was her body to the touch?
Her body was warm. Her hands were cold.
And was
her hands are normally cold.
Tub water warm?
Yes, the tub water was warm. Her hands and feet are normally cold once she get out of stuff. So at first, that's what I'm saying. A lot of signs of it really made me feel like it was just her playing alone, just her normally, because if she get off the tub, she's wet. Her hands and feet are cold. She don't have socks on. Her hands and feet get cold. So like I said, her body was warm to the touch, but her hands were cold. And
was she breathing when she got out of the tub?
That I didn't really check for because I was not really sure at the moment that anything was wrong.
How was her head? Did her head bobble like she was asleep? Or
when I picked her up out the tub, that's what I'm saying. I really didn't pay attention. Like I said, normally I get her out, come in here, get dressed, whatever kids may be. And then I placed her on the floor. So I didn't really.
You had to dress her, right? She didn't dress herself.
Yeah, no, she didn't dress herself. I normally help her to dress her, but at that time it was me dressing her.
Because she couldn't dress herself at that time, could she?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Because she's unconscious.
I'm assuming so. And then what else were you at see?
So we have the positioning. We know it closed. We know that you called 911.
You said you walked off. What do you mean you walked off? You said you did some breaths, then you walked off. Did you walk to the bathroom? Or did you walk to the
No, I walked in the room.
Okay.
You talking about when I was like, well, I thought she was just
Yeah.
coming. No, I had walked in the room real quick because I had a cigarette.
Just over there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
just right here.
Okay.
And I would, I puffed it and I came right
You
back.
didn't step outside or
No,
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure, she was still okay because she just looked offish. Like she seemed like she was playing because she looked like she was just staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, she just seemed off.
Okay. Now we know that you called for help a little after 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, it was 7.
Okay.
Who'd you call first?
I called her dad and then I called him right after, but it was at 7:45.
Because they record all the calls, and I have a log of the call.
If you have the phone, you can go through the call list and they'll show the 911 time.
Okay. And then we showed up at the hospital.
But once I realized, okay, I was upset that I even waited that long. And as you can see, that probably simply caused the situation to progress the way it did. Because she could have probably been saved if I would have noticed that from the beginning something was wrong. But I'm really thinking she was just playing.
Okay. So come in here and I want to show you something. So I remember I told you that a lot of our investigation is scientific.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that we do.
Yeah.
Now, when we saw Janiyah a couple hours later, after y'all had gotten to the hospital, we noticed a lot of bruising on her face, on her abdomen, on her arms, on her legs. She was bruised and cut up. But not a lot of cuts, but a lot of bruises.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice any of that? Now, because you had put her in the bathtub.
Yeah.
and you had taken her out of the bathtub and you had dressed her. The bruises were very obvious to us. Did you notice that extensive bruising
No.
when she was in the tub?
As you can see, the right in the ear is nowhere near as far as it is anywhere else. But nonetheless, in light, you can see. I told you like the face and stuff. Yes, I get to see that. But as far, and then like I said, the one on the, I don't even know where that came from. I literally just saw that. But the arms and stuff like that, and I don't know about anything else other than the face and then that mark right there.
She wasn't bleeding when she came in here. She didn't have any cuts.
So you remember I did tell you that she, her mouth was red, like she was bleeding, and then she was like spitting out blood from the other day when, you know, because I give her a bath all the time.
Was she spitting out the blood from the prior day?
Huh?
Or was that this morning?
No, that was the part.
From yes, okay. So one of the things we do is, like I said, it's scientific, and we test for blood.
Yeah, I know.
And what I can tell you, come on over here. You see the blue here by the tub edge, and you see the blue inside the tub. That's blood residue. That's blood.
Oh, that's
so what that tells us is that she was in the bathtub, and then on the bed here, and on the tub here, where you said that you leaned her over. There's blood on the floor.
No.
And there's blood in. Well, it's science.
It will be blood right here too if it drips her. That's what I would say first off. It did not, none of that. And you can come and retest all this if you need to. But it will be dripping off the tub if she would have been hanging over the lid. That did not happen.
Well, if she was over far enough, it would have either got on the towel that was lying on the floor.
It was.
There was blood on the towel?
It was mixed in with water. And I cleaned up the mess from, you know, and it was just sitting there.
So how does the blood get in the tub?
Because the tub probably wasn't properly cleaned out.
From?
The last time she had the bath from when the incident first happened, from when she came in and all.
So you're saying that this blood that is in the tub here was from a day before?
Yes, because I ran this water more than one time. So it's like the fact that that's still in there, that's really surprising. That means I don't do a good job there. I didn't clean it out, to be honest.
Okay.
But you can see it's a ring around the tub.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty dirty. I'm not
So
saying
you're saying
like,
that blood is from the altercation from the day before?
yes, because I'm telling you, if she was over here dripping blood, first of all, she wouldn't have been sitting here like that, and this would be completely blood.
Because that looks like a lot of blood to me.
It do, but it wasn't. It was mixed with water. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, that wasn't. That looks like a lot of blood to me as well, and that's a lot of bleeding. All of that, that's a lot.
And have you cut yourself in the tub? Any bleeding from you in the tub?
I bled. I cut my hands.
Okay.
Yeah, I bled plenty of times. Like, you know.
So when you bathed Janiyah yesterday after the altercation, Janiyah, I'm sorry, she had blood in her mouth.
Mm.
Okay, and she washed out in the tub or in the sink?
No, she washed out the tub. I had immediately put her in.
Okay, because we have blood on the sink as well.
Well, you know, I told you I cleaned her off with some tissue as well. So I don't know exactly.
Is this the tissue here that you cleaned her with?
Probably not, because it would be red new. Oops. But yeah, I don't know where this. I don't. Did you guys already get it up?
Yeah, we already did it.
Yeah.
So, and this is for the ID guys are gonna process it. So and we took your swab, right? They took your swab already. So we're gonna know your DNA, your blood, their blood, your boyfriend's blood. Is that pretty much gonna be her blood, or is that some of your blood, or?
It could be a mixture of any.
Okay.
But that towel has been sitting there, so it's like that could have been old already. You know what I'm saying?
Like old blood?
That's what I said. That tub wasn't cleaned out right.
Okay.
Because the fact that it looks like that, it didn't look like that when I put her in it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I would have seen the bloody tub with her in it. It didn't look like that, and I think it would have been probably, I don't know.
Okay.
That's really. I mean, you guys are doing what you have to do.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We're gonna analyze all that stuff, and
Yeah, of course.
that's science stuff. Again, we got the doctor tomorrow, so we'll come talk to you guys afterwards.
Please.
All right, this concludes the interview. Same person is present. The time is 17:41.
Chevion Miller is allowed to leave that day, and she returns to the apartment with Richard. No arrests were made on the day Janiyah died. But the following day, September 12th, she'll do one final interview on video in formal interrogation style. We'll come back to that in a moment. But Janiyah's father, Richard Davis, was also interviewed about Janiyah's death. There's no available audio or video from his interview, but I have the transcripts, which Las Vegas Metro Police charged me $600 for. And some of the information divulged in them is hair-raising, especially when combined with some of the other information I've gathered. If you recall, Some of the observed damage to Janiyah's body was found on her bottom, specifically in the form of bruises, and these contusions were fresh. Because Chevion mentioned that Richard hits Janiyah with a belt sometimes as a form of discipline, when the detective spoke to him, they decided to go further into detail with Richard about his parenting methods. And this is where some seriously alarming information was leaked. When questioned, Richard claims the last time he used a belt on his daughter was roughly Sunday, the 8th of September. He stated that the reason was because Janiyah had a tendency to remove the diaper or clothing off the two little kids that he and Chevion babysit and do something he described as really strange or really bad. The transcripts are censored, so the exact details are unknown. But these two little girls were not the same two little girls that he was watching for his ex-coworker, Liz. In fact, these children were the ones that Chevion described in her interviews as her nieces. Richard referred to them in the same manner before clarifying that they weren't actually related to him or Chevion, but rather belonged to a long-term friend of Chevion's who lived with them for a little while, up until that week. This is the woman Chevion referred to as her sister, and her name is Dejanay Williams, or Dejanay Johnson as she's later named in court documents. According to Richard, it was Dejanay that caught Janiyah doing the really bad aforementioned stuff to her children, and she informed him about it. He claims he had to discipline Janiyah for that because it wasn't stuff she should be doing. One detective asks him, "So she took off a baby's diaper and was blank?" Again, I can only speculate about the censored information based on further context. Regardless, Richard answered yes, and then was asked, "Does she blank her own blank?" To which Richard claims he doesn't know and states that he's very hands-off when it comes to girls. He doesn't even like it if he has to go to the bathroom with Janiyah and prefers that Chevion handle all that. It's weird, and it makes him uncomfortable. At one point, Richard is asked, "Are you implying that at 5 she blank?" Again, censored information, so we'll have to guess what's being said based on further context. Richard answers saying that couldn't be possible at Janiyah's age. He's also asked if Janiyah ever mentioned being sexually assaulted to him. He said no, but she always seemed like she wanted to tell him something. Janiyah also had trouble sleeping at night and would frequently wake up in what Richard described as a real deep sweat, not like a normal sweat. He did mention, however, that he knew she went through some stuff with her biological mother when she was younger, but that stuff was never elaborated on. As far as I know, and from what I can gather, there aren't any allegations of sexual misconduct at the hands of Janiyah's birth mom. Regardless, Janiyah was beaten by Richard with a belt for what she did to Dejanay's youngest child. By his own admission, she was struck 20 times on her bare bottom. When asked if he was upset, Richard said extremely, because what Janiyah had done, in his words, was very, very bad. He even recalled seeing visible damage begin to form on her bottom while in the process of beating her. So much so that it caused him to stop and realize it was a little too much before making her go and stand in the corner for 30 minutes. He was also asked if he may have missed her buttocks with the belt and hit her legs, and he said possibly. Now, cops described bruising to one of her legs as so severe that it went down to the bone. It literally affected all of her leg tissue. If the bruising on her leg was caused by this spanking before she was...
How you beat a baby so bad on her leg that it goes down to the bone? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. They beat her so bad in her leg and went down to the bone. I agree with what Grisky just said. Grisky said it's gotten to the point where these parents don't care about the consequences anymore, just heartless. Absolutely. And real quick, just off subject, George asked for my he asked for my state, and it was just given out. Please don't give out nobody's information, y'all. Please. I don't even know what that was about, but as soon as he got my information, he dipped out of the chat.
Made stand in a corner for 30 minutes, I can only imagine how much pain and fear this little girl was going through. And Richard claims he didn't use a belt on her often, but the belt that he used had no clasp or buckle. This was clearly a belt that was kept for one purpose, and that purpose was attacking someone. It was used to harm someone who seemed to be already dealing with the most horrible trauma imaginable. Trauma a 5-year-old girl should never have to face. If you ask me, this child needed help long before she was murdered. And in my opinion, she was crying out for that help. Cries that it seems to me were met with a belt. So regardless of who you think killed Janiyah by the end of this, I want you to remember what her father definitely did. Remember what he did instead of actually going and getting her help. He should have got her professional help, but instead, he tried to beat it out of her. That's a fact. How else can you describe the details that you just heard? But it might be important at this point to clarify just how Janiyah ended up in the custody of Richard Davis. About a year prior to Janiyah's death, Janiyah's mother called social services on herself in Arapahoe County, Colorado, and basically admitted to being unfit to or unwilling to raise Janiyah. The child ended up in foster care at this time for a short while before Richard was contacted and informed. My understanding is that Richard flew out to Arapahoe County and visited Janiyah there while in the custody of the system. But this is where things get dark. According to sources close to the family, Janiyah claimed that her father had been touching her inappropriately during this visit. She told this to multiple people in Colorado, but nothing was done about the allegations. Social services were apparently set to step in again, but instead Richard offered to take Janiyah back to Las Vegas and assume full custody of her. Janiyah's mother agreed to the decision, and that's how the child ended up with her father. And if you think about it, this actually lines up with what Janiyah said while sitting on her grandmother's lap in the clip I showed earlier. At the time, Tirza was under the impression that Janiyah was saying, if my daddy's mean to me or if he touches me. But based on what we know now about the allegations in Colorado, I believe she was trying to say something else. Let's watch that clip again with this new context.
You gonna have fun with your daddy?
Yeah.
That's good. You can call Grammy anytime, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give your daddy my phone number. Because I love you.
I'm gonna talk to my mommy, and then I'm talking to my mommy when he's being mean to me.
Okay. That ought to be interesting.
That's why mommy tell me I can don't my dad touch me, and then he's still touching me
Well, hopefully he
at the house.
we won't be doing all of that, okay? And you
Okay.
just have a great time with your daddy, okay?
Okay.
To be 5 years old, she said my daddy keep touching me. And my mommy told me don't let my daddy keep touching me. To tell her. And the granny laughed it off. "5 years old, spoke on it. Too many times we don't get the kids to talk about it or tell it. But this baby, God gave his baby a voice to tell it, and everybody let this baby down, including the grandmother. Including the grandmother. This is sad.
You tell me in the comments what you think Janiyah meant in that clip. We should also remember that a sperm sample was found on Janiyah's body, a sperm fraction was found inside her body, and there were micro tears to her private area. At this point in the investigation, those samples are still being tested. We'll be coming back to all this. This is far from over, and there's more that will tie in later. The day after Janiyah's death, Chevion is picked up by police, taken to the station, arrested for the murder of Janiyah, and formally interrogated on video. The first thing to note before this plays is that when Chevion is picked up, she has visible signs of injury on her body that were not there the day before. Not only were there marks on her wrists indicating potential self-harm, but she had what looked like 2 ligature marks around her neck as if something had been wrapped around it twice. Now remember, Chevion went home to Richard that previous night, yet it doesn't appear as though a call to emergency services on Chevion's behalf ever occurred. So put yourself in Richard Davis's shoes. Your 5-year-old daughter's suspicious death occurred mere hours ago. The only person with her at the time of her death was your girlfriend, and her story has changed over and over. Then later that night, while at home with you, your girlfriend attempts to harm herself. What is the first thing you would do? Would you call someone immediately? Or would you do nothing other than simply wait for the authorities to pick up your girlfriend the following day? I can hazard a guess as to what most completely innocent people would do. Regardless, this is Chevion's final statement.
Now, you remember yesterday I told you this was going to be kind of a scientific
Yes.
investigation.
Mhm.
You know, we're detectives, and we've done this for a long time. And we know things when we see things. We're smart guys. We are. And I told you that the doctor is going to tell us what happened to this little girl.
Yeah.
He's going to tell us what happened to this little girl. And Detective Fernandez was at the autopsy today. And I'm going to tell you right now, the injuries to that little girl are so severe, you got to explain it to me.
Can you explain to me what her injuries were, please? Because I really don't know much.
I can't explain the injuries.
Please.
She has bruising both eyes, to the sides of both face. Her mouth is cut open. She has bruising on the tops of her arms, on the back of her arms, both arms. She has bruising on the tops of her legs, on the bottom of her legs. She has bruising to her abdomen. She has bruises that are so deep that it goes to the bone.
What?
When you and I walk into a door and we get a little bruise up here, we get a little bit of a burst blood vessel up here, and that's what causes a bruise. Her bruising is so deep that the blood goes all the way to her bone.
Wow.
That baby was beat to death. No doubt about it. 100%. It's not a question.
She was.
We know that's what happened.
She was alive, but she let it tell you.
Yeah, I believe you. I want her to probably was alive. But she didn't get to that bathtub on her own, and she didn't make it out of that bathtub. Oh, she walked to the tub?
Yes.
Okay.
She walked to the tub.
What happened on the way to the tub?
Nothing. She was in the tub the whole time.
Minutes. The injury she sustained to her abdomen, minutes.
Minutes?
Minutes.
What do you mean minutes?
She had minutes to live.
What do you mean?
I don't know how else to explain it. She had an injury that would have killed her within minutes.
I'm confused right now.
There is nothing to confuse. She had an injury that was sustained that would have killed her within minutes.
No.
She didn't live longer than
She was
a
in
few
the
minutes.
tub. No.
I'm telling you right now, this is what showed
She
you.
was up in the tub. And I said she got in the tub, she was laying down.
So what happened in the tub?
Laying down, I was just like,
Then what happened in the tub?
What can possibly? I don't know. I walked off and came back and seen her like that. And like I said, the only thing that I knew of that I did was laid her over the tub. That's the most that had happened.
Simeon,
What?
look at me. Look at me for a second. Hey.
Is this a joke?
This ain't a joke.
Are you serious right now?
That is not a joke. That is worse than a gunshot wound.
What is that?
Can you tell? It's a liver. That is not a joke. Minutes. I'm not lying to you. We are not lying.
You got to tell me what happened.
I'm not making this up.
I know you're not making it up, but you're not telling us what happened.
I'm literally telling you what I know.
You were the only one in the apartment with her.
I'll be back.
I'm really confused right now. I don't even understand that. Like I said, even when I see the bruise on her, I don't even know where that came from. Or I would have told you, oh yeah, that's where. No, I don't know where that came from.
I do.
What?
I do.
Where did it come from?
It came from you.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It did not. I'm telling you, it didn't.
You don't. It's okay.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna. No, this is not okay.
You did it, and we know.
No, I didn't.
And we know it.
What did I
But
do?
you have to explain to me why.
What did I do? If you know that I did that.
What did she do that was so bad?
What did I do? If you know I did that to her, how did I possibly do that?
You beat her to death.
No,
You did.
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I did not.
Those injuries that we saw, that type of injury
No.
comes from car crashes, from airplane crashes, and for people to fall from extreme heights off of the top of buildings.
No.
This isn't an accident.
No,
was
she
intentional.
wasn't alive when she got in the tub. This was not intentional. She was very well and alive.
Shavion.
I don't know what could have possibly happened. I did not beat her to death. I did not. I really didn't.
Well, there's only 2 people in that apartment.
I didn't. I don't know how that possibly happened.
And Richard's one. That's it. And by the look of your neck
And by the look of your wrists, that's somebody who feels guilty. That I did try to do it. Why else would you try and hurt yourself? I didn't do enough. I thought she was playing. I think you did enough. I didn't help her when she should have been helped. That's right, because it's your job to protect her. Exactly. And I don't know if you lost your cool, if she did something to
What?
upset you,
Oh my gosh.
but this is the time to explain it. Because all
I cannot explain this.
Because the medical evidence is what it is.
Can I see the rest of the medical evidence, please?
No, well, there'll be plenty of time for that.
No,
You
it's
saw
not
the
plenty
picture
of
of
time
her?
for that. No, I need to know. I need to know what else you guys, because this is really mind-blowing to me right now.
Her internal injuries were so beat up that she fled to death.
No.
Yes.
She had no plenty of time to have blood coming out of her.
Inside her belly. Inside her belly.
No.
They took so much blood out of her belly. I have never seen that much blood.
This has to be a joke.
It's not. I trust you. Listen, this is far from a joke. But once you tell
Are
me
you
the truth, you'll
serious?
feel better. I promise you'll feel better.
I cannot feel better about something I didn't do.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Janiyah, stop.
I'm telling you, I did not.
The time for this is
No.
over.
No.
It is.
No.
You told me that Richard was gone. You told me he was gone, that he checked out. He was at the clinic. We know that the injury to her liver was so severe that she died within minutes of the injury. He wasn't in the apartment.
She was alive. She was alive. There was no reason she could have possibly died from an injury like that when she was alive the whole time in the tub until I walked off.
Tell me what happened.
I walked off from her. That was it.
No.
Yes.
The time for sticking to this story is over. You can't fight evidence. We have medical evidence that shows how she died. This isn't a game. This isn't a joke. I'm not trying to...
She had water coming out of her.
I agree. She did have water coming out of her. That's not what killed her. What? She bled to death.
No, she didn't. I'm telling you, no. Janiyah was alive in the tub.
Tell me what happened.
No.
Please.
I didn't do anything.
Please explain to me why this beautiful little girl that just turned 5, she should be running around with pigtails in her hair. She should be swimming and playing with her friends. But unfortunately,
We were just doing all that stuff.
she can't do that anymore.
We were just doing all of that stuff with her. That doesn't add up.
She should be doing it.
I really don't know where that. No, I don't know where that came from. I do not know.
This is the time to tell me.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
You have to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Please don't let this little girl's death go unjustified.
I'm telling you.
Please don't do that to her.
I'm telling you.
She doesn't deserve it. She's an innocent.
There is
beautiful
no
little
way.
girl.
I'm telling you, there is no way
Help me.
that she could have possibly. I told you, the most that I know of that hurt her, she got into a scuffle. I didn't even realize she had that bruise on her stomach until that day.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. Look at me. Look at me. Hey. Janiyah, look at me. The injury to her liver. She bled to death in a matter of minutes. It didn't happen at a scuffle out in the yard. It didn't happen from bonking her head on another kid's head.
There is no reason she could have possibly gotten an injury like that.
I know. There's only
nothing.
one way it happened.
There is no way. I'm telling you, there is no way she could have possibly gotten an injury like that. She was very well and alive and sitting up when I left the bathroom.
I see those injuries all the time.
No.
No, I do.
No.
I see children with lacerated livers
No.
all the time.
No.
I see children with lacerated small intestines. I see children with lacerated large intestines. I see children with lacerated hearts, with broken ribs, with their heads smashed.
No.
I see all that.
That wasn't her.
And it only happens from one thing.
That was not her.
Because someone close to them,
That
someone
wasn't her.
who loves them.
No, I'm telling you.
And I believe
that didn't
you love
happen
that
like that.
little girl.
But it did not.
I do believe that you loved her, but I believe something happened that upset you.
No.
And I want to.
No.
And if it was an
No.
accident, you need to tell me that it was an accident.
No, it wasn't an accident. That I don't know how that happened.
I do. She was beat to death.
You can't say it was by me.
You were the only one there.
I don't care who was there. It wasn't me.
Are you going to tell me that some ghost came in and did this? When there are only two people in a room and one person ends up dead, that's it. You already told me this.
What do I say?
I'm really trying to figure out like what is really going on right now.
I'm telling you what's going on. Text Connor's telling you what's going on.
This is
We're not
crazy.
lying to you.
I feel like somebody's lying to me.
You could think that, but you know the truth. You know.
The truth is she was in the tub. Alive.
I'm not down there.
Walked there herself.
I believe that. Something else happened though.
I don't know what.
You do.
No, I don't.
Shit, man, you do.
I'm
And it's
telling
going to
you.
be the hardest thing for you ever to admit.
Oh no.
It is.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna admit something that I didn't do. That's what I'm not gonna do. There is no way. There is no way.
Then explain it to me.
Can you explain it to me?
No, I have explained it to you a couple of times.
I'm still in disbelief. I still cannot believe this. This is a joke.
Who killed that child?
I thought, no, what?
Who killed that child?
Nobody. Like, nobody should have possibly killed her.
You think that she just woke up dead?
I thought it was the tub.
You thought the tub beat her to death?
What?
When, let me tell you something. Do you know what a liver is supposed to look like?
No.
Let me show you. Let me show you real quick. This is what a liver is supposed to look like. Smooth, shiny. That's the way our organs
Could that have possibly happened when I did CPR on her? Because I was pushing her whole body.
These lacerations, I told you, we see this in airplane crash victims. We see this in people that have been killed in car accidents.
No.
We see this in people that fall from great heights.
No.
Yes. This is what it should look like. This is what it looks like after somebody has punched or stomped on somebody's abdomen so hard that it ruptures their insides.
No.
Yes.
Nobody does anything like that.
Absolutely. People do it all the time.
No.
People do it all the time.
No.
This isn't a trick. This is real. This is Janiyah's. This is her liver. I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. You were the only one with her. That's it. Why didn't you
happened to her in that tub?
Why didn't you protect her?
Where did it happen?
Nowhere. She was fine.
She wasn't fine.
No,
Well,
she wasn't. But you gotta help me understand, because you seem like a nice lady. I gotta know how you were capable of doing that.
whoa, no. I'm not. At all.
We see two types of people.
I'm not capable of doing that.
You know, we see good people. We see people that love.
I genuinely thought it was the water. The whole, like, when I gave her CPR, it was water coming out of her. I don't understand right now. I don't understand. I thought it was.
I know. Listen, I know you're not a monster. But sometimes people are weak, and sometimes we do things that we regret.
No.
Sometimes we make decisions that we can't take back. We do something. There's an action that we can't take back once we've done it.
That has got to be.
And this is what happened.
Some type of mix-up.
I can't see you get.
There has to be a mix-up.
How'd you get so mad at her? What did she do?
What?
What did she do to make you that mad?
No, that's not gonna work. Cause I didn't do that.
No, you did.
No, I didn't.
There's no doubt about it.
It's a doubt.
No.
I didn't do that.
You were the only one in the apartment. Richard wasn't there. Her death occurred within 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not saying this. A doctor is saying this. A super smart person.
There's no way.
Who was a lot more
Her
educated
death
than me.
could have possibly occurred within 2 to 3 minutes. No, she was up. She was up. She was doing fine.
Is this why you tried to kill yourself last night? Is this why? I mean, 'cause I can't imagine the guilt. I can't imagine how guilty you must feel that baby died while you were taking care of her. Now, from the looks of your wrists and the look of your neck, I'm going to say you either tried to cut yourself, but just weren't able to do it deep enough. Because cutting yourself is tough. I'm going to guess that you tried to hang yourself at one point, or at least strangle yourself, so that you lost consciousness.
Her dad is feeling probably the same exact way, if not worse than me.
You don't have a mark.
The only difference.
You don't have a mark on his body. I just talked to him.
I
I've been
know.
talking to him the whole time.
I know.
He's in there crying, breaking down. I don't know what to do with him. He's so upset. He's beside himself. Now I talk to you. Not a tear in your eye. You've got cuts on your wrists. You've got contusions around your neck.
I'm in disbelief.
You can believe it because you tried to hurt yourself. Because you're feeling so bad about what you did that you tried to take your own life.
No, I feel bad because she was laying there and I thought she was fine.
Are you right now thinking in your head, if I just keep denying this?
No, I'm not thinking that at all.
Because there's so much evidence. So much.
That's what I'm thinking. What other evidence? Like,
how much evidence do you need?
I'm really trying to figure out what is really going on.
Have you ever built a puzzle?
Who haven't?
Right. You ever, like, missing a couple pieces? You're like, oh, shoot, I'm missing a couple pieces. But you can still figure out what the picture is, right? That's where we're at. I might be missing a few pieces of the puzzle. I might be missing how it happened, why it happened, where in the apartment. I might be missing some pieces, but I got the picture. I got the picture. The picture's there.
This has to be wrong.
There's nothing wrong about it. Now, if you were hitting her and you went too far, you had, maybe you didn't realize how hard you were hitting her, or maybe you fell on top of her and didn't realize how hard you did that, that's understandable. But if you woke up that morning going, I'm going to beat the crap out of this little kid, that's a different person.
No.
That's what we need to figure out who we're talking to. Because I don't know who we're talking to right now. There's no amount of denial that's going to get those cuffs off today.
It's not about, I'm really trying to think right now. What could have possibly happened? I really am.
You're the only one that knows. You're the only one that knows. There's only two people that knew.
This is crazy.
Why you only two people in the apartment? Shitty online.
Tell us what happened. Don't let this little girl's death go without an explanation. She deserves it.
I didn't.
This little girl deserves the truth to be told. You owe it to her.
No,
to tell her the truth.
I didn't do it.
She called you mommy. She thought of you as her mother.
If I would have known that something like that was wrong with her, she would have been 1,000 feet away from me. It doesn't matter what could have possibly happened. It doesn't matter what could be possibly going on. As long as she's okay, that's the only thing that matters. So if I would have known that something like that severe,
how would you know?
Exactly. How would I have known?
I don't know. I didn't say you knew that her liver was lacerated. So
if I would have known something like that was going on, she would have been in the hospital.
But something happened.
Way sooner.
Something happened that caused those injuries. What do you mean way sooner? What are you talking about way sooner?
What are you talking about way sooner?
You pulled her out, you dressed her, you put her on the couch, and you didn't call her.
Exactly.
You called her.
That's why I said something would have been done way sooner.
When she was dead.
I didn't know.
You didn't know? How do you know?
How do I know? How do I know?
You know how I know? Because when you're on the 911 tape going, I don't know if she's breathing. I heard it.
Yes, that's what I didn't know if she was breathing or not.
I don't know.
That's not how I wanted to know at all.
I have the tapes. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
We have all of it.
Yes, I know you have the tapes. I'm not confused at all about that, but I'm really confused about this. I really am.
You seem very confused.
I am.
Then why are you saying you're not confused?
I'm not confused that you have the tapes. I'm not confused that you didn't hear what was going on, but the fact that you're trying to say that I was careless on the phone said, I don't know. No, that's not right.
Are you confused about the medical evidence that we have?
Yes, I'm confused about all of this. The fact that you guys are saying it was bruises to her bones?
To the bone.
That's insane. That's insane.
There's nothing insane about this.
I don't even know.
There's nothing insane about this. You want to know what this is? This is her leg. This is the inside of her leg, and that is blood that's not supposed to be there. You want to see her arms? This is blood that's not supposed to be on her arms. Do you understand? That is blood that is not supposed to be there. Her legs are supposed to be almost milky pink. These are bruises. These are legit 100% bruises caused by an adult with a whole lot of force.
This is insane to me.
I already showed you what I need to show you. I ain't got nothing else for you.
I thought she would have got up at some point in time. Like, Mommy, I'm just kidding. That's how I'm disbelief. I am and was about the situation. She was fine when she got up. She was. She was.
You know what? You're probably right. She probably was okay when she got in the tub. But that's what happened after.
She wasn't in the tub that long. Nothing happened after.
She.
Look at me. Please. Please look at me. The tub didn't kill this baby.
So she did die from drowning?
No.
So why was the water coming out of her?
Because it's natural. I mean, why? She was in the water. So water got inside her.
No. No. She was breathing. I seen her. That's what I told you guys. She was breathing in the water. That's why I told her to sit up. She sat up. And then I left and came back and she was laying back down. She was not in a situation to be, oh, no. I'm still like, damn, is she gonna come back? Is this just really a fucking game right now? Is there any way possible she's just gonna get up and you guys are gonna tell us to come get her?
She's not coming back.
No. She was breathing in that water. I'm telling you, she was alive. Nothing happened to her in the tub. She was breathing in the water. And I'm telling you that for sure. Because I had to tell her to sit up and stop doing that. And she did. She was fine.
So did she get the whooping before you put her in the tub?
What? She didn't get a whooping.
Or was it after?
She didn't get a whooping that morning. At all. She didn't get a whooping.
Shivia, we've explained to you what happened.
Why do you think she got a whooping that day?
Well, if you said she was alive when you put her in the tub,
Very well.
the injury could have happened prior to you putting her in the bathtub. And then she expired while she was in the tub.
No. I'm telling you, she was up. She was up.
Well, I'm saying she could have maybe walked to the tub with that type of an injury. I doubt it. You would have probably had to carry her.
No, she walked to the tub.
See, the thing that unfortunately that we're faced with, that we have to deal with, because this isn't going away. It's not. This is real. This is as serious as it gets. It doesn't get any more serious than this. We have a 5-year-old little girl that loved her daddy and loved her mama. And when I say loved her mama, I'm talking about you. That little girl woke up Wednesday morning. It's like it was another day. And then sometime between the time she woke up and 8 o'clock in the morning, she died. And children just don't die. There were only 2 people inside that apartment. You and her. You're smart enough to understand what I'm talking about. You're intelligent enough to understand what I've explained to you.
I don't.
It might be hard.
She was breathing in the water. I don't.
I'm sure that it's hard to deal with.
I don't like how I understand that. I don't want to believe that this.
I know you don't.
This can't be normal.
I know you don't want to believe it. I wouldn't want to believe it either. I wouldn't want to believe that I would be capable of doing something like that to a child.
I didn't.
No, you did.
I didn't.
And you probably think that if you continue to deny,
No, I don't think
that it's
that.
going to make a difference. But it's not.
Yeah, you guys already have your mindset that it was just me.
You told me it was just you. Richard.
I didn't do that though.
Both of you told me that he left. He was gone. You both said that. You said that you were alone in the apartment with her.
She was fine though.
She wasn't.
She was.
No.
She was fine. She was.
Then why'd you try to hurt yourself?
I didn't do what I needed to do for her.
Why would you try and kill yourself? If it wasn't your fault. What?
Because I was there with her.
So?
I thought she was sleeping.
You didn't think she'd sleep.
I genuinely thought she was
You're
sleeping.
smart enough to know when somebody's sleeping.
No, she played right. She's a playful kid. It's not about that.
When someone is dead?
No, apparently not. I haven't ever been in that type of situation before, so no, I wouldn't know the difference. Like I said, she was still warm. I didn't even realize she was warm.
Shit, I know you don't think I'm on your side, but I'm the only voice you have right now. This is it. You got me. I'm the only one that's willing to tell your story.
She was alive. She was fine.
So what you want me to believe is that this poor child got the beating that ended her life. She was beat to death. The beating that ended her life. Nobody knows how it happened. It just happened. It happened while she was in the tub and you were out having a cigarette. Because 1 minute she's fine and the next minute she's dead.
She was alive in the tub when she got it. She was alive.
And she could have been.
She was.
But either what? So then what happened before. It doesn't change anything. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if she was in the tub. It doesn't matter if she was in a car. It doesn't matter if she was laying on the couch. It doesn't matter where she was.
It doesn't matter because if she wasn't in that tub, she wouldn't have died. If I would have walked off, she would be still here.
No, she wouldn't.
She would. She would.
She'd be on.
She would still be here if I didn't walk off from her. If I didn't think that.
She had already bled to death.
No.
Yeah.
No.
She did.
No, she didn't.
It's not a mystery. We know what killed her.
She didn't.
She did.
She didn't.
I don't. Listen, you can say she didn't as much as you want. You can say it till you're blue in the face. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't. I'm sorry. And if that's what makes you feel better,
then you can.
If she died, how could she have possibly been breathing in the water? How could she be possibly doing that if she had died?
We told you it takes 2 to 3 minutes for something like that to happen.
She was in the tub longer than 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. So you probably, if what happened, which I'm assuming for whatever reason you got upset, and you put that whooping on her.
No.
And then you put her in the tub trying to clean her up because she would have been bloody.
Bloody? What?
From her mouth. Because she's got injuries in her mouth. She would have got a bloody nose.
What?
So you put her in the tub to clean her off.
No, that's completely made up.
Because we see it all the time.
But I didn't ever agree to or say that that's what happened.
The first time that I've seen
I didn't at no point in time agree to saying that happened. I didn't say that happened.
The first time that I've seen a baby with a lacerated liver, that baby died because of that. This ain't the first time. I see this all the time.
She was breathing in that water.
But then you whooped her before you put her in the tub.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You did.
No.
Now, I don't know if you used your feet or if you used your hands or how you did it or if you struck her with an object that was inside the apartment to cause that type of an injury.
No.
But there is no doubt in anyone's mind that that child died from a beating. And like my partner said.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. 100%. Because you yourself said
she was breathing
she
in the water.
She hadn't been in any accident. She hadn't been hurt. She didn't have no bruises the night before when you put her to bed. You all said when we put her to bed, she was just fine.
Nobody did never say that. I told you she got into a scuffle outside.
Oh, sure. Okay. Not that kind of scuffle.
She got into a scuffle outside.
Then she would have been dead that day. She'd have been dead that afternoon. Yeah. Are you telling me that you had a dead baby in your house all day and you never called the police?
She died.
No, she died in the morning. After Richard left.
No.
Yep.
No, she didn't.
Yep.
And yeah, she did.
I know she did.
She drowned.
No, she did. She was beat to death.
You just said that, y'all put her to bed, nothing was ever wrong with it. I didn't. No, I didn't. I told you she had a scuffle, and that's how she got beat up like that. I told you that from the beginning.
That didn't cause that. You said she came in with a little black eye. She had dinner, had a sandwich. Y'all watched TV. You put her down on the bed for care. You said the scuffle was around 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Y'all had dinner and good night and put her in bed. You got her up for a bath the next day and put her in the bathtub. You said she walked to the tub.
So if I possibly did that, she would not have been up in the tub for more than 10 minutes.
Well,
if you guys are saying that was a 2-minute type of situation, no, she was up.
I mean, this is
very alive.
This is just what you're telling me. I mean, I don't know the timeline. I have to go off what you say. I know she was in the tub because her hair was wet. We know she was in the tub because there was blood in the tub. We know she was in the bathroom because there was blood on the floor. No
that
doubt,
was old.
No
that
doubt
was
in my mind
prior.
that you put her in the tub. I agree.
That was part of it.
100%.
If I go run the water in the tub right now, that blue stuff is going to fill up the whole tub. And if I let it out and don't wash the tub out, it's going to fill up again.
But that's not in question. You put her in the tub. You said you put her. I believe you. I believe you did put her in the tub. I do. I do.
So are you guys trying to arrest me for murder?
You are going to be charged with murder.
Are you serious?
Yes, very serious.
I did not do that.
Chevion was charged with 1 count of murder and 6 counts of child abuse, including neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm. But Richard Davis was allowed to go home and plan a funeral for his daughter. Janiyah's birth mother never attended Janiyah's funeral. Police were also unable to obtain an interview from her. About a year later, lab results for the DNA found underneath Janiyah's fingernails confirmed that DNA belonged to her father, Richard Davis. Due to the sperm fraction found inside Janiyah, he was arrested on August 17th of 2020 and charged with 1 count of murder, 6 counts of child abuse, neglect or endangerment resulting in substantial bodily harm, 1 count of SA with a minor under the age of 14, and 1 count of lewdness with a child under the age of 14. At first, the trial was going to proceed with the objective being to try the couple together, but a conflict of interest was determined and the courts decided to try the pair separately, with Chevion Miller's trial being dealt with first. She never testified in her own defense, but there were some key points brought up during her trial that certainly need to be addressed. So let's start with the DNA found on the child. The sample taken under Janiyah's fingernail definitely, beyond the shadow of a doubt, belonged to Richard Davis. There was no question about that. There was, however, contention during the trial as to whether or not the DNA found inside Janiyah actually belonged to Richard or was even a match for Richard. But the prosecution showed a photo and claimed that the swabs used to conduct the test took the samples from a position far enough inside the body that a towel simply wouldn't reach. What we do know is that the tiny fraction that was found inside Janiyah's body was confirmed to have 2 DNA donors. One was likely Janiyah, and the other was definitely a male, but the sample was just too small to determine exactly who the male donor was, so the test results on that could neither confirm or exclude Janiyah's father. Richard's arrest stemmed from the fact that there were no other males present around Janiyah for days leading up to her murder. But then about 8 days before Chevion's trial, Richard's SA charge was mysteriously dropped. There were also major disputes about Janiyah's time of death. While Janiyah definitely died in the apartment, her official death was recorded at the hospital as 8:25 a.m. Her body temperature, taken slightly before that, was 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is significantly lower than normal. Because of this, her estimated time of death was initially believed to have been roughly 2 hours before first responders arrived. And if that was the case, then yes, Chevion was the only one that could have murdered Janiyah because she was the only one with her at the time. But later, Dr. Cornell estimated that Janiyah may have actually passed 3 to 4 hours before she was pronounced dead, which means she very well could have died as early as 3:30 a.m. And that changes everything. I wonder if the bath and the heater were simply ways to keep the body warm long enough for a monster to get offside. And while we can only speculate, thanks to the trial, we now know that could indeed be a possibility. According to the defense, neither the bat nor the belt found in the apartment, as well as other items and evidence, were ever tested, which is kind of odd, especially considering that neither Chevion nor Richard had any damage to their hands. And what about those boxing glove type things seen on the floor in the evidence photos? They'd certainly be a good way to protect one's hands while attacking someone else, but as it stands, they don't seem to have been tested. Another alarming thing the defense brought up was Exhibit 301, which was a video that showed Richard Davis at the Telcris Plasma Donation Center. The claim was that Richard looked visibly distraught roughly an hour and a half before he should have known anything had happened to his daughter. He was described as slouched in his chair, head down, shaking his head. He was also noted by a Telcris worker to not really have reacted much to the news about his daughter. It's impossible for me to watch these clips and not think there's something off about Richard. His demeanor is certainly alarming, but is that due to the context of this video or the lack of context in understanding Richard's baseline behaviors? There's no doubt in my mind that Richard Davis knew something and had something to do with this. And personally, I find his presence in these clips highly unsettling. There's no denying that Richard, by observation only, could be considered strange in his mannerisms, but strange is not evidence that he murdered Janiyah. Another big thing that was brought up briefly during Chevion's trial was Dejanay Williams, the friend Chevion referred to as her sister, the one with the kids that Janiyah allegedly touched inappropriately. The prosecution had tried relentlessly to get Dejanay to respond to subpoenas, but they simply couldn't locate her. They had her name down as Dejanay Johnson, spelled like this, so who knows, maybe that had something to do with it. But suddenly on the last day of Chevion's trial, the prosecutor was somehow able to locate Dejanay and talk her into testifying that morning. In the 3 years leading up to the trial, no one had ever interviewed this witness about the murder. According to the prosecution, Dejanay said she had babysat Janiyah in the apartment on the Saturday before her death and hadn't noticed any injuries on the child. But she did state that she found Richard weird and that he made her uncomfortable. But at the time, she needed a place to stay, so, in her words, beggars can't be choosers. Dejanay also allegedly told the prosecution that on multiple occasions, Richard Davis would turn the TV up and discipline Janiyah in the other room. Dejanay described how she could still hear Janiyah screaming over the noise, but she wasn't exactly sure what Richard was doing to her. However, she went on to note that Chevion had recently told her she wanted out of the relationship, and she was tired of watching Richard's child and being responsible for her. The prosecution alleged that Dejanay heard Chevion say she would kill Janiyah. Not only that, but there was evidence submitted before a grand jury in the form of an anonymous Crime Stopper tip that also claimed someone was going to kill Janiyah. There's no proof, but the prosecution seemed to think that person was Dejanay. The prosecution also mentioned several jail phone calls between Chevion and Dejanay until suddenly, Dejanay decided to sever contact with Chevion for good. The jail phone calls are recorded somewhere, but I was unable to obtain them. Due to objections by the defense, Dejanay Williams was not allowed to testify at Chevion's trial. Also submitted into evidence was a text message from Chevion to Richard days earlier stating, "Your daughter is the devil." Chevion Imani Miller was convicted of first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in substantial bodily harm. She was sentenced to serve 20 to 50 years behind bars. She's currently serving time in the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. Richard Davis was eventually released on bail, and I haven't been able to find a single update on his case.
Oh, wow. All I can say is, oh, wow. He was released on bond. Sure, me too. Oh, yeah. This is how it's gonna go. This is how these cases are gonna continue to go. Daddy got away. His butt should have been locked up too. These cases are gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And you see, I know. Yeah, Karen, I know. Why did they release him back into society? This is how other children, absolutely. Apparently, mom said she didn't go. Man, ain't nothing, let me tell you something, Chin. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from going attending my child's funeral. Nothing. She didn't want her baby. As simple as that. What you said is what it was. You didn't want that baby. Come on, y'all. He got away with his semen being in his child. Because they don't care about us. They don't care about exactly Denise. Got to be sure because something's wrong with him. If he let grandma have her, who he going to say? So, of course, he went and got her. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He does. He probably have many victims. Man, the mother. Both. Everyone needs to listen to these babies talk. They tell them they're being hurt. They love letting women herders and male children herders out of jail. Look at Jarvis Butts. If Naziah wasn't missing, Jarvis Butts would have a bond. Teef said, that's it. Yeah, Latif. She said, unbelievable. I'm pissed. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Sick, sad, and pathetic. The fact that they found the dad's DNA. They let him out so he can keep doing what he's doing. They don't care. You right, Miss Parker? They don't. They don't. Sometimes they put him in a tub. Not to bathe, but to attempt to revive him. You're right, Lisa. Oh, y'all. Thank y'all so much for pulling up with me tonight and doing this story. Tomorrow, I'm going to play where this story originated from, why this story resurfaced. We can really break it down then. My emotions is all over the place, and I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed with a lot of stuff right now, but I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. But the friend did speak out, and I want to hear what she has to say, and then I want to talk about her because you felt this baby, and it's funny how and I think it was Latif that said it the other night, was talking about it. It was China. And I spoke on their little cousin Nefertari who got on alive by her mother and buried and threw away in her basement. Unalived her baby a week after having her baby. Threw the baby in the basement as if she was nothing. And China said people started speaking out for 10 minutes of fame, but said nothing to say baby Nefertari's life. And for the friend to speak out now and you say in the courtroom that I heard the baby screaming and I ain't know why. You felt this baby. Why speak out now when you could have spoke out and saved her life? The same with Kamani. Everybody's speaking out about the abuse and the neglect and the essay until she's not here to use her voice to say what happened to her. And you gotta laugh from crying, but it's almost distasteful that y'all speaking out. I say don't speak out. I don't want your awareness now. I want the awareness when the kids are living, when they could be saved, where they can use their voice to tell the next child and save them. But unfortunately, this is what happens. This is where we are. If you got Instagram, my Cash App going across my screen is my if you can hit me there. Detroit. So top place that some of these women be so into men, maybe to where that they be wanting a certain one to be the daddy, and most of the time it don't be the daddy. They never get a blood test. We gotta occur. We gotta do something. This monster was supposed to be in prison. He got away with the BS. I know, Petty Queen. I'm completely drained from this. Good night, y'all. Love our babies. He said disappeared. Yeah. This eye-opening. We need to hear our babies and really listen to them. They're telling us the truth. We need to be proactive in protecting these precious babies. No, he didn't get away with it because there is God. He's waiting for him. He will deal with him. I can't understand how he got off, Carla. Here's my email, DD, to Juanita. I keep kissing and hugging my baby girl the whole time listening to the story. I could not imagine, my God. Me neither, Tanika. My baby knocked out sleep. Postpartum depression is real. But she didn't have postpartum, Denise. Are you talking about the real mama, Denise? But she didn't. Yeah. I get what you're saying, Denise. Selfishness. She needed a place to stay so she could curl her sick. Come on, Niecy. She said her that part. I agree with you on that. He said, well, it is. My daughter, a cancer too. I guess to do better, we got to understand how we got her. Yep. Hey, North Carolina Family's Park. What's going on, Caramel? What's going on, family? The police were really patient with her. It wouldn't be me, Lord knows. I'm educating my children. Looks can mean bad behaviors. Tell me all. Yeah, me too. Go through birth just don't allow a child. It's craziest thing to me. I mean, y'all, come on. Sickening. It's sick at its finest. There's no words to express for this type of behavior. And these horrific crimes that's going to keep going on. I told y'all we're going to hear the next story. It's going to be worse and worse. Tomorrow, justice for Quintani Bellotti, 3 years old, unalived. Self-made dropped down in the chat this morning. Miss Parker, she just kept dropping justice for Quintana. And I didn't understand it. And I said, did something happen, Self-made? And she said, this baby needs justice. 3, we're going down in the age, further down. Nefertiri, just as young. Just as young. Let's not forget about the mother who beat her son and hit him over 1,000 times with an extension cord, unaliving him. 1,000, over 1,000. And beat him for 3 hours straight. Kimani Lateef, dismembered, whole body dismembered, down to her head almost being taken off her body by someone she said called father. Dismembered, hands taken off, neck hanging by a thread, and we gotta say it so we can get it. Because I don't think if we don't put the description out there, and I'm not gonna be so vague with it, but love your kids, save our kids, protect our children. Because one day that could be ours. One day that might be the detectives up in an abandoned house with paper bags for our babies. If we don't stop turning a blind eye, if we don't start listening, if we don't start looking for signs. What's going on, man? What is this? Brutal. What's going on? Am I missing something? No, Denise, it's just what's happening. Naziah Harris, 13 years old, in the house full of incest, being groomed by men, double her age, never to be seen again or heard from. Clothes found with her DNA, blood. Ayanna Sawyer, another Uncle Daddy, for her never to be seen again. Jamaria Sessions, same thing. Father participated into ending her life. Rika Roundtree, father participated in his girlfriend ending his child's life. Participated in the torture. They even had the kids participating in the torture. The same as Jamaria Sessions. The list can go on and on. But I don't want it to go on and on. I want to stop it. At least what I can fix. At least make these predators pay. Not with bond. There should be no bond. Once you take a child's innocence, there should be no bond. Once you take a child's life, to me, eye for an eye. So we got to work together. She said, Maddie Soto, age 13, I got to finish that story. I got to finish that story, Anita. Thank you for reminding me. Maddie Soto, giving freely to her mother's husband to be touched and unalived. Yeah. Anaya Gray, tortured by her mother and her boyfriend. Unalived. I mean, do y'all want to keep being here for these stories? Or do we want to make a change and come back and celebrate that we made change for these monsters? To make them pay for what they've done to not just these children, but to our communities. Because the communities will forever suffer. When we lose our youth, I suffer, I cry, I'm upset. But I'm doing nothing to make change but talking about it on my platform. But I know there's so much more I could do. I'm like what Patricia said. It's time for change. Because we will never heal. We will keep being here suffering from hearing these horrific stories of what happened to these babies. To my women, stop inviting pain and trauma into your home. Stop inviting these demonic entities in our homes. Because when you love self, your eyes are wide open. But when you can't admit that you are not feeling okay, our kids are the one that's being targeted, not us. Men, to my men, stop taking in your children just because. If someone is mad at you constantly, and it's always domestic, it's always verbal, your child is going to get 10 times worse when you're not around. Your child is going to end up being a Janiyah Russell. Because life didn't throw you lemons to make lemonade, don't take the child to be your punching bag, okay? To these men who are losing their mind because they just simply ain't shit. And you can't go out there and figure life out to be the man that you were supposed to be for your children and to keep that woman. Take yourself out. You're mad at you. But instead, they're going home and wiping everybody out and then doing the cowardly thing at the end. Remember, kids never asked to be brought into this world. We made decisions knowing what the consequences would be, making sexual decisions without protection. And that would be bringing children into this world that didn't ask to be here. To these mothers, to these women. Because see, just because you had a child don't make you a mother. Hell, animals have kids, you hear me? Dogs spit out babies without knowing, okay? Get birth control. Get the kind where you could never have kids that could sterilize your eggs and go do as many men and live the best life you possibly want for yourself, okay? But stop destroying our communities with your neglectful choices, because I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of us making excuses for them. Well, the mama said she didn't attend the funeral because she might have did something to him. I'm going to sit there just as calm. He would never see what was coming. And would have been excused for my digressions at the end, okay? Stop making excuses. You just ain't shit. Let's call it what it is. I don't give a damn what she says. And to these women and men that turn blind eyes and want to speak out in the death of these children, you're not shit either. You are just as worse as Shavana. You might as well did it yourself because you listened to it. Those screams, those cries don't bother your ears. The pain in those children's faces when they're enduring pain don't bother you? Because I don't want to know at the end I could have saved a life when I know I saved it. It's different listening to it and talking about it. Y'all should know that. Thank y'all so much for coming out and supporting me and wanting to talk about Janiyah. Want to talk about all the other kids in Laziah, Kimani, Gabriel Hernandez, who suffered, baby Brianna Lopez. When y'all hear about Janiyah Russell, I always say I challenge y'all to do something. I guarantee if I played Brianna Lopez's story right now, I guarantee I would probably have 2 or 3, if that, left in the chat. 5 months old, being essayed by everybody in the house, being tossed to the ceiling just to see how hard her head could hit, only to watch her drop to the ground, being thrown across the room for nobody to catch her, with items pushed up in her all the way to her stomach at 5 months old. But I guarantee if I played it right now, y'all wouldn't make it. She said Quintani was unfortunately murdered in Children's and Society washroom in 2023, and they still haven't publicly acknowledged anything. 3 years old. I stay up late at night because I can't sleep now. It's not because I want to be up. I've never did this hours. Never. Never have I been up doing third shift lives ever. But my soul and my spirit won't let me sleep. And the devil is just working all around me to stop me from doing this. The devil is attacking me. They don't want awareness to be spread about these children being essayed. They don't want awareness about sex trafficking. They don't want awareness done about gun violence taking our youth. They don't want awareness for a Black person to talk about mental health in our communities that's being gone unnoticed for years and years and years. And I keep telling y'all, our melanated people is supposed to be extinct like dinosaurs. Again, pay attention to our history. Pay attention to the fact that a man dropped down in my chat and just said, Miss Parker, where are you from? While we're talking about a young Black girl whose life being taken, he wanted to know where I was from. I said, why? And he disappeared after somebody told him he disappeared out of the chat. The devil is working to shut me up. Black people don't want to come together. We want to be the one that said so. I don't want to be the one to keep doing these stories. I don't. That's why I've been switching it up, talking about other things. History. Trafficking. Brianna's story was so sad and heartbreaking. Thank you, Curtis. Man, pull up with me tomorrow at 5. Self-made, I got you. I hope y'all pull up tomorrow to support her and his father. All the man wants is just so we can know who his son was. See, we never get families on her to tell the good sides. We gotta find them and search. But this father wants his son's name to be alive. He wants justice. Because see, his son meant something to him. His son meant something to him. And he means something to me as well. And I'm going to spread his name all through this YouTube algorithm. Now, we got to wake shit up to get shit to start moving, right? Just because I'm a content creator doesn't mean I'm the only one that can share these stories. We got YouTube, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got something. Talk to your children about these stories. It might wake some shit up too. Because when we think we know what's happening with our kids, a lot of times when these parents come on here, they don't. Right, Lati? Right. Right. Journey Ross, 3-year-old stabbed to death by stepmom here in Vegas. 2. I used to do security in the apartments. Let me write that name down because I never knew that. It's a whole lot of stuff we don't know. Gotta play meditation to sleep after this. I'm so angry. I feel helpless. Yeah, I need to get you some meditation. Good night, Chin. Thank you, Carla. Jealousy is real, Black family mental health. Yeah. I'll check Journey Ross out too, Nikki. Poor Quintani. No justice. Never even heard of his story. Another life being swept under the rug as if he's nothing. When the parents are left to grieve all of that. Like their child is less than. It means something to me. The devil running rampant. This is just pure evil. I'm looking at like D. Walsh. I'm looking around like, who sent a lot of y'all people? Who sent y'all? Yeah. Please alert our babies what's happening in this world. I send my lives to my kids. My youngest, as much as I Relisha Rudd, she sent me that story. She stayed up one night with me and I felt so bad. And while I was talking to y'all, letting some clips play, I said, go to bed. She said, I can't. Because she's so into the Naziah Harris story. And my baby was up to 3 in the morning, had to go to work at 7. Sending me clips. Can you talk about Relisha Rudd? Because one story leads to the next story. Next story leads to the next story. Then a fresh story comes out. It's another child dismembered. Liver busted open. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys that ride for these kids just as hard as I do. And not just in this chat. It's other content creators talking about different kids. So keep hashtag protect our kids, hashtag save our kids. And I'm sick of throwing up hearts for these kids. I am. I really am. So now it's time to make a change. Come up with a solution. That's what it is. Come up with a solution and a plan. And put that plan into action, and we can all do it. Just take the hate out of our hearts for a day. And think about these kids. That's it. Quit not liking people for no reason. It's where these kids end up like they are. Unalived. Based off somebody hating them for no reason. Disliking them for no reason. We do it as adults. We find everything. If somebody don't like you, they just don't like you. If somebody don't float your boat, they just don't float your boat. Okay? She said, let's write a new law. Anita, start writing letters tonight or tomorrow when you get up. After you get your Sunday dinner together, you get everything together. Take 5 minutes out of your life and write a letter. Write a letter to your senators, to your congressman. Absolutely. She said, baby been missing for 10 years and nobody knows nothing. Kern, your baby? Your baby's missing, Kern? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm getting out of here so I can, get myself together. It's 3 a.m. I said I was going to be here till at least 3. Okay, Karen, just making sure. And have you seen us podcast? Salute to her. She goes live all the time. Talking about her nephew that's been missing for years. And she started talking about other kids. She could have been selfish, but she wasn't. So y'all go check Have You Seen Us podcast out. And just maybe one of those kids that's missing just might be in your neighborhood. You just never know who you'll see. Okay? We are losing battles that we didn't even know that we're in. The enemy is real. All right, you guys. Thank you again. And don't forget organ selling. Yeah. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, Curtis. Good night, Ms. Parker. We love and appreciate all you do. Good night, everyone. Good night. Nikki, my sister, has sickle cell. I'm sorry for your loss as well. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, Nikki. Yeah, she said that earlier. But y'all pull up with me, and then my late night live tomorrow is going to be human trafficking. And also, we're going to hear the friends speak out for the Janiyah Russell story. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to break it down and see why she waited so long to speak out. I want to see if she takes accountability. So, yeah. And I'll see you guys. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in Old Boys Live for Sunday service. He does it at 3 o'clock, okay? So, hopefully, I'll see y'all to get refreshed. And I pray that God blesses each one of y'all to wake up to live to see another morning, okay? Good night, everybody. And good morning.